And we are back, slotted in for another fabulous series here live from the Intel Esports Arena from Leicester, of course, as we carry on with the day games, Benjamin.
Yep. We've just had 2 games. We're going to another one right here. Astralis and SpaceSoldiers. Quite a matchup in terms of Pro League in this case, because that is 2 teams who got to the finals last season.
That is very true, and it is interesting, obviously, as Astralis, they've only just finished their series over on the A stream. They have been dominating right now. It's fair to say we are currently in the era of Astralis in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's a safe assumption to make, right? They won 2 tournaments in the space of 7 days, just a week ago. And it doesn't look like they're going to be stopped right now, because it seems like they're just manhandling everyone. Like the game on the A stream, they destroyed FaZe. I think it was 16-4, 16-7? Absolutely one-sided affair.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And it looks like it could continue in that fashion as well. I mean, SpaceSoldiers recently looking like they've been struggling ever so slightly. They've done better online in Pro League so far this season, but obviously it's still early doors just yet. We're only on day 3.
Yeah, it is only day 3, and this will technically be their 3rd map of Pro League, as mentioned. So the first 2 we saw, they destroyed NIP, 24-round difference just from those 2 games. And they actually just finished the best of 3 in the Chicago qualifier as well, which they took 2-0 over 3D Max. Decent win to have. Is, it gets you a bit ready, like, okay, we're coming in from a win, even better, right? But you are going into Astralis. So it's not exactly, it's all well and good to be like positive coming into a game. But Astralis is a different beast, right? You can't just be like, oh, positive and happy, yeah. You might just get slapped 16-0. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they get off to a good start, because that's probably one of the things that Astralis are better than other teams at doing, is just controlling the entire game as soon as they get a chance.
Well, recently we saw as well that, looking at it, it's the fact that the debate's been going around, are teams even in a position to really overthrow Astralis right now? It looks like they're just putting in far too much effort, everything's flawless. They have everything they need in terms of support around the team to allow them to excel, and it's being shown, not only in the server, but in terms of their personas as well. They're absolutely dominating it right now. The only loss we've really seen in recent times is 1 map loss against Big yesterday, which is a huge shocker, but it doesn't really say that much, because in terms of online and when it matters, big pickups have always gone their way. They have just been soaring for everyone, Ben, and can teams actually take them down? Are we going to see SpaceSoldiers even have a chance of nullifying them right now?
Like you mentioned the big games, when you need to win, right? So Astralis, I think this is the first time we've ever seen it. So a team that is currently the reigning champions of Pro League, ECS, the Major, as well as other titles. They're reigning champions of everything, basically, right now. Like, that's something we've never seen before. The only thing they don't have is DreamHack Masters, because they lost in Stockholm to North, which was quite a bit of an anomaly, really. That probably wouldn't happen again. NSL somehow winning MVP there, quite a crazy event itself. But otherwise, we're looking at them playing, Spaces on Inferno. We saw them play a week ago on Inferno at Istanbul, and it was one-sided there as well. Astralis went 16-6, and Zantares did not show up to the server. 5 for 18. He's one of the players you need to show up if Space was out to do well.
Especially in front of the Turkish crowd. You feel like that's where, if he's going to get invigorated and finally come through and really make a huge performance on LAN, that would be where he'd really be in his home turf. Literally on his home turf.
Literally his home turf, yeah. And he started off really well. First game of Istanbul, he was 36 kills. It was phenomenal. He's like, maybe this is where we see SpaceSoldiers win a big event.
Yeah.
But then he just kind of fell off. I mean, if you start at such a crazy high, chances are you're not going to keep that up, right? You're going to probably fall off, get to your, goes back towards your average play. But instead he went to, 5 for 18. That's just not good enough. He's one of the top 3 players of all time on HLTV in terms of rating. It's been to him, and then I think it's Simple.
Yeah. So
you consider he's one of those, he's that high caliber player, but he's just not quite able to do it when he's actually needed to.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Which is odd as well, because normally the roster actually looked good, especially online. That's where Zantares was normally able to pop off. It was always sort of that comparison of on LAN the team seemed to struggle, online they played their absolute best, but now they've looked like they've hit a bit of a brick wall mentally across the board, and it's odd. They did very well last season of Pro League. They were getting some interesting results and a couple of big upsets. This time around, it started off with them looking as if they are confident and comfortable, but going against Astralis is always going to be a hard fight no matter what. So if things are going to work well, the entire roster needs to step up, and in recent form, we haven't really seen that. Players like Engin, everyone needs to really come through, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help, right? So if you think, complete contrast here. Astralis, they win the major pretty one-handedly, right? They destroy everything. SpaceSoldiers is eliminated at that new challenger stage.
Yeah.
0-3. And they have to use their coach. And in terms of morale, they've just, they came from that incredible low. Went to Istanbul thinking we might be able to get something here. Don't quite make it work. They went 2 for 3. It wasn't quite good enough. And now online, I mean, before that NIP game, I was thinking they're looking quite shaky. They were losing some online best of threes that they shouldn't be losing.
Yeah.
I think they lost to Optic, they lost to Epsilon as well, and then they beat NIP as they did. So maybe that's just a different showing where they go into Pro League when it matters, I suppose, compared to these other online best of threes. Pro League is where it matters, right? They want to get that top 7, go to the finals, and hopefully do well from there.
Yeah, because they realise how important this is, and also this time around, if they're actually able to make it there, hopefully everything will be nice and smooth for them, right? There's not going to be any issues with visas because, as we saw at the major, Hardstyle was forced into playing, and as much as it's a substitute and it's someone that knows them well, and normally the coach can be a good sub, not when the player that is, not when that sub doesn't even play the game. I mean, Hardstyle, he isn't an active player. He's someone that's purely there to help out from different points of views. His coaching role is very different to what most teams have, and that's why it just didn't translate into the server. I mean, he put his damnedest in as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I remember Major was talking about quite an active guy on social media. He's always talking about how he always gives his teammate their backing, right?
Yeah.
He was saying how Hardstyle, he was there for like 10 hours grinding on the server, properly playing as much as he could. And it's like, you compare his style of coaching, right? He's much more of a maybe more outside of the game, helps a lot. Then you think of like a Zonic, right? Zonic, a former professional player, when he needed to step in, if you remember, there was an incident, I think it was Cologne.
Yeah.
Or it was Cologne, it was the major,
so.
yeah. Because Dupree was ill. Yeah, he stood in, and he did really well. It's another instance that, you've got that ex-pro side of it, where they are capable of, wielding guns and everything, running around doing well. Hardstyle, he was such an awful position to be put into. And some players, like some coaches, wouldn't actually play. They would just say, nah, I'm not going to, I can't.
Yeah.
I'd rather not put myself and make myself look that bad. Peacemaker comes to mind, because that was the same with Ty Lue, if you remember, where he was actually trying to argue that, it's in his own right, when it's just a nice thing to do. If you're listed as their coach, you should try and help them.
Yeah, if you're needed to be a 6-man, obviously you're the one that understands the strategy and the in-depth of the team very, very well. You've been there. You've helped them write that playbook, so it makes sense as a transition. And he did actually offer himself up as, as a substitute then. He volunteered for that one.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I mean, you're not going to go very successful with it, right? At best, they were going to win a game. That would probably be it. Instead, they did go 0-3. And as a team, you're probably thinking that it probably doesn't feel as bad, right? So you'd be annoyed that the visa issue happened. You'd be like, okay, we can put that behind us. That wasn't actually in our control for the most part. You literally can't do anything about that. But as a team, that means you didn't have to be set back. So you'd be thinking, okay, we missed that, but surely we can do something else. Istanbul was that option. Didn't quite happen. Astralis won that again. And hopefully from here they can actually build the online best of 3s and best of 2s like this. It's where they have to show it. And last season they did. I'm hoping they do the same this time.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can step up and get into it. Let's check out the odds before we delve into this series, Ben.
That's probably the most one-sided we've seen before the game.
Yeah, I think throughout
we saw during the game, didn't we?
Yeah, the entire day so far. It's definitely a shocker.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Like, Astralis, as we've mentioned so many times, they're the world #1 for good reason, and there's barely been any teams that's questioned them. It is Inferno, though. They did lose yesterday, and Inferno's a big.
Yes.
So it doesn't exactly mean that they're unbeatable, as shown right there. So it's still winnable, but, it's... If you were to make a bet on it, it's such an underdog. You wouldn't put more than 10 on it just because it's not worth it, is it?
Yeah.
The returns look great, but chances are you're throwing that to the wind.
Exactly. I mean, you're not likely to win that one. That's why the odds are so high, because SpaceSoldiers, as much as they can be a team that pops off, and they were always sort of a bit of an upset squad, especially online. They were a team that you never really could count out in a lot of scenarios, but recently it doesn't feel like they've had that extra edge there. It feels like they've sort of slowed down a little bit. Maybe they can get something going together. They will need to invigorate and light the fire. But let's see if they can, Ben. We're going to dive into the action here between SpaceSoldiers and Astralis on Inferno to see who will pick up the opening map. There's 6 points up for grabs. Who will be taking them? No one, as there is actually a tech pause, Ben. Astralis is going to get something remedied straight away, and then we'll be carrying on with the action.
Somebody touched Device's keyboard.
Yeah, and he was not happy.
Not happy at all. Yeah, so there was an interesting thing I heard about with Dupree on Twitter yesterday. So apparently some people were mentioning that they might not have been playing as hard as they probably would do, say, at an event, right? They were playing a bit more casual, not as heavy, because it's an online game. Dupree lashed out a bit, in some ways, on social media about it, which just shows, the players, there's a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You can say online CS, it's hard to play it when you've been to LANs so often.
that doesn't mean you're going to put less effort in.
Exactly. You just don't get as annoyed, I suppose. And this is starting so aggressively. Look at that.
Interesting enough, where have we seen that strategy before with mouse sports? And it worked.
Everybody
well for
seems
them.
to be using it.
Yeah. It's a very confident ball, and SpaceSoldiers already losing Major and Xantares isn't great, but luckily Big Paz can fight through, takes down Device, and it is a 3-on-3 here, Ben. The A site has been planted upon as well.
Glaive does have the kit, so this is a very winnable situation. However, no grenades to back up that kit. I'm simply having to go contact. KaliX already leads that forward. 2v3, Dupree is the only player with armor. And Glaive does pick up that kill too.
Ooh, the tag comes back through. KaliX holding the angle, waiting for the push-up. Both players tagged down fairly heavily. Paz has been so huge into the round, and they're actually saved as well because KaliX getting the shot off on Dupree. So SpaceSoldiers, they pick up the opening pistol off the back of what appeared to be a very tremendous start for Astralis. It's a good retake there on the A site.
Yeah, they get those 2 early kills at Banana. It seemed like everything was going out the window, but SpaceSoldiers, they react adequately, they take that A site, they play the post plant, and they do take it. And this is what I'd like to see. So Astralis, I remember looking at this actually on HLTV. In 2018, they win this second round when they lose the pistol 30% of the time. That's the highest of all the teams in the top 30, using like a sample size of about 80 maps. So this is a big round for them, because if SpaceSoldiers managed to convert, they've done a very, very good job of it. So this grenade should be quite big, although the players have fallen back there. If he was at the wall, that would have been a huge amount of damage. So this is where we're going to see. So I mentioned the same thing last time on Inferno, where all the CTs have a smoke, simply trying to play the time, but Xipnix doesn't get a chance to do it. Xantares takes him straight off the server. Oh, he's just shot that into the air. That's long gone.
Yeah, miles away.
That's unfortunate.
Not ideal.
That's very unfortunate. That would have been another smoke. I think Glaive did retrieve it, actually. He retrieved it from the dark spot. It flew all the way to dark spot.
It's actually landed over there, giving him a free smoke.
So he gets the smoke in, but the X2's somebody coming in. He needs to fight them.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, he doesn't win the battle either. So SpaceSoldiers is in a good position to take this round. I think Astralis is just going to let them have it.
Seems like it. Yeah, there's not really any real reason to. Dupree's got armor as well, so if they just hold back and allow this round to go through, it is going to be the second pickup there for SpaceSoldiers. 2 players on the hunt. That is Xantares and also KaliX that are pushing down and looking to try and find these kills. They're all going to be exiting together, but they're running straight into it, Ben.
He's held the position, gets the first kill, but doesn't get the second one though, but just doesn't have armor. So that's a really awkward battle. He loses distance battle to a Mach 10 just because of that Kevlar.
If he grabs the AK, no. Unfortunate there for Xantares, so he will have to hold on to that Mach 10. So they do lose 1 casualty there on SpaceSoldiers. However, he can paste that Mach 10 back over, give it to KaliX, and then invest into the AK.
Yeah, so SpaceSoldiers pretty fluid round there, pretty well done. As I mentioned, they avoid that Astralis counter conversion. And this should be an easy way for them to push into a 3-0 here. Nothing really bought from Astralis here other than that P250 on Majesk. There is 3 players towards the top of Banana here though. So could be a question mark for Major, although he is the LGL, so I imagine he'll be a bit more well-tempered and actually patient when it comes to this play.
Well, there goes the push around. KaliX gets first contact, and Glaive will reposition close in library. Unfortunately, it seems like he should get detected. Whoa, through the wall. The expectation there from KaliX is to connect the shot and take him down, Ben.
Unfortunate situation there for Glaive. Just a bit of his left side body sticking through.
Yeah. It's quite a thick boy.
Quite a thick boy.
Yeah, with 3 Cs.
3 Cs and no K. Very thick.
And Dupree should get detected as well. Paz gets that frag on Device, stays alive with 22 HP, which is great. KaliX will get a further frag as he takes down Dupree, so he's making money into this one. And Majesk, the last player that's left alive towards mid, just storming his way up. Does get contact, but unfortunately there's 2 men there, so Major finds another frag on the SMGs as well. So SpaceSoldiers maximizing money into that one. Looking good then.
I was going to mention a bonus round, but Major's actually upgraded to an AK there. So they're keeping 2 Mach 10s. They did originally have 3. The question is, how reliant are they to have that 3rd AK? Because I don't feel like they needed it. In fact, KaliX gets an AK himself as well. So there's only actually 1 Mach 10 kept in play here. So when you consider the other two players, or teams rather, we saw yesterday, they kept those SMGs, they used that bonus round, and it normally worked out really well for them. They're able to utilize having that extra mobility, having the SMGs, you're able to do a lot more fast-paced stuff. But consider what they're doing now. They're doing an upburst. They could have just kept the SMGs for this. Especially with the ability to, fly through the air, jump off the balcony. And here it comes. We're just going to do pretty be question marked here.
Ooh, Magist gets the opening frag though, takes down Engin. There is a response, but it's only one frag found so far by Major, and Device comes in with the AWP. We know how powerful he can be, Ben. Single-handedly shuts down these pushes, but will he spot the player? Yes! Finds the headshot as Kaliex tried to stealthily move his way in towards Graveyard, but instead just ends up in the Graveyard. Xantares somehow stays alive, gets the shot off with a headshot on Glaive, but Device will connect it through the box.
Yeah, but just getting 2 kills at the back of it there is absolutely huge for that round. There was no real help from him. Dupree was smoked out on the site. Unfortunately, I do wonder though, SpaceSoldiers didn't need to have those extra AKs. They had 3 Mach-10s. They could have sent all 3 of those Mach-10s out of the balcony. Very peculiar decision.
Especially with a player like Major, I mean, he's someone that...
Normally he's quite tactically diverse. He knows like, okay, I can definitely just... We don't need to force into that round. So look at the money now. Consider that 2 of the players which have it down to 3,000. Xipnix is being so aggressive on Banana this game.
The timing, not great at all, but Xantares, he always has that lethality behind him, Ben. He can just be such an aggressive player at times, and it pays off.
For sure, he's had a solid game so far. I mean, he started off the pistol pretty weak, but 6 kills now. Looking to add to that, Majest gets that lurk kill too, so it's going to be a 3v3 post-ban here. And there is a kit on play on Majest too, he's got full grenades.
Well, Device on the AWP.
He saw him.
Yeah, spots him out as he jumps into a better angle. He's going to chuck that smoke down. Paz and Engin, the last 2 remaining players. They need to try and stay alive. The flashbang goes over. It keeps him at bay. He goes for it, Ben. Finds the initial contact, but Dupree's able to overpower him with the M4. However, Dupree's quite low, and it's all on Paz. Time's ticking down. Plays anti-flash, repeats, gets the first and the second. Paz powers through, and SpaceSoldiers get themselves a 4th round.
So the perfect reset coming in there. So Astralis, they didn't have the, what, 3 players alive on that last round, the first buy. They then lose this round, which means they've got 3 players on less than $2,000. And they're kind of half buying into this. It's really weird. They're having to discuss this quite a bit. A lot of the players are unsure on what to buy here. Very, very poorly coordinated there. Slow out of spawn for a lot of people. And SpaceSoldiers are just going straight up mid. Look at that. That's a Fnatic. This is the Fnatic anti-eco. You normally send 4 players up mid walking. You just take the contact, and as soon as you get to the top, you then decide if you're going arch side or quad. You tend to go together as a wolf pack.
Oh, Kaliex gets the kill over on Device. We'll be able to punish him and take him down. Further damage should be coming through. The pre-built down to just 29 HP. SpaceSoldiers, they look fantastic so far into this round. Each frag's gone their way, and Astralis, they might be tagging them up, but they haven't converted them into kills. However, there's still 2 players on that site. They need to try and force them back out, Ben. And Zipex
actually pushed through.
Goes out, but doesn't get anything for it. Short-lived there. B site completely open. The last 2 remaining CTs are on A. And Magisk's just going for it. Hoping to see if he can actually run amok now with a UMP. He's in close range. He's getting tags off, but he cannot actually find anything. When the rotate comes back around, they're going to discover that B is open and that a welcome mat is down. There should be another round for SpaceSoldiers here at this point.
And it should be a save from Astralis. If they're able to get those AKs that were at mid, I think one of them might have been a Mach-10, but the other one was definitely an AK. And if they were to save those weapons... Actually, it's another AK. It'll make this buy next round look quite scary for Astralis, because they could potentially force into it. So if they keep these guns alive, Dupree will be able to drop an M4 if needed, and Jis could drop an SMG probably best. I'm not sure if they'll risk forcing into it. It's like it's not a situation where they need to waste rounds if it does go wrong. So we're looking at 5-1 now for SpaceSoldiers. They are near enough 5-1 odds to actually win this on Betway. A very good start.
It is damn good for SpaceSoldiers. They've looked pretty effective so far into this matchup. Firefights have been going their way. But the rebuy comes through from Astralis. They're aided as that double AK save is so important for them. The economy would have been really bad into this one. But they can opt to play around it now.
These buys are so odd again. I mean, Xipnix has got a Mag 7. Dupree doesn't drop anything, Magisk doesn't drop anything either. So Zipnik's leaving himself on $700 here. Very, very weird. Playing sandbags, well, he's already been naded to bits there. 65 health left. Gets the first kill, he's probably going to fall for the second. That damage!
Oh. That is utter filth, Ben. He's brought him down to just 23 HP. The response from the nades is good to at least make him weaker as he falls back, but the backstab from Magisk, this is huge in the meantime. It gives them so much info, and you can see the rotate coming around off the read from Astralis now, stacking up and getting ready for the B-site attack.
This is going to be horrible for Astralis. SpaceSoldiers, sorry, they're running straight into it, and Dupree, straight through the smoke, all the blind, he doesn't get a single one!
Nothing comes through, but Zipnik's able to stay alive for so long. Paz is able to burn Glaive out. Glaive just runs into the Molotov, Ben. It's somehow turned into a 2 versus 2 into the round. Magisk, the lurker, arrives on the scene, but he's not lurking for long, as he's now done. Paz with a 4K. He's flicking around like a lunatic, and he makes it pay off. That's 6 rounds picked up so far for SpaceSoldiers. And
that's got to be a pause for Astralis, right? There's no way that they are thinking of letting this 6-1 momentum come in.
It's actually a technical pause for SpaceSoldiers. It's one of them that suffers a keyboard issue.
Oh. Okay, so that works as a bonus for Astralis as far as they're concerned. This means the momentum gets halted.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a weird rumor before, like a few years ago, that Renegades used to say they had tech issues at events just to use it as a momentum breaker.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's very smart of them to do it, right? But, you know, it's a bit... I feel like slimy's the word that comes to mind, right? It's a bit of a dodgy thing to do. I suppose online you can't even prove it if there were an issue, right? But it is on SpaceSoldiers side. There's no reason for them to pause the momentum, right?
Yeah, they're only going to break their own momentum if they left it paused for too long, so...
So you see, Dupree did drop an AWP there for Device, I imagine. And Dupree's been one of the shining stars. So everybody thinks of Device whenever they think of Astralis star player, right?
Yeah.
But in the past 3 months, Dupree's been incredibly solid for them. Like, it's only on land that Device has showed that true edge. But when it comes to overall performances, Dupree's been really, really strong. So it's quite interesting that he actually takes that hit there and actually drops the AWP. It does mean that he won't have many grenades.
I mean, that's sort of the interesting standpoint as well to think about. If you cast your mind back to obviously what this Astralis roster would have looked like with Kirby before they decided that obviously that was kind of what they wanted to go with, and then Kirby just went, nah, I'm leaving, and just joined North.
They've offered me lots of money.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Magisk's actually really slotted in and bonded well, and I think this roster, you know, has kind of benefited from that majorly. The position they're in now, to think of how much they've achieved from that day when he announced that he'd left, it sort of left them in a bit of limbo. And Astralis, they've overcome a lot of odds in recent times.
Yeah, there was an interview that came out recently, wasn't there, with TK, with Glaive, and he asked them about the Kirby situation. Glaive was like, I was hoping that North would do like horribly, I was hoping that they'd do poorly, everything. He was like proper like vendetta, which, I mean, it makes sense, right? You know, you get betrayed like that by somebody you'd probably consider a good friend at that point. Like, they've been together for a good, what, 2 years, maybe?
Yeah.
And he just up and goes, just like...
Without telling anyone, just left.
Yeah, he just, you know, it wasn't like he said to one of them, oh, North have offered me this much money, I'm thinking of going. It was simply, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, they found out by North announcing it.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, in terms of heel turns, that's absolutely wild.
That is a bit of a flabbergaster, that one.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff. I mean, Astralis don't seem to mind, do they? I suppose they've done really well since.
Well, Magisk bonded into the roster very well, and I think he's actually had one of the most impressive runs. We've really seen him sort of step into the role and look fantastic, and Magisk still has so much to prove as well. A very talented player. But that is kind of the story of everyone in the Astralis rosters.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, all the players have been able to... Like, if you look at 2018 in terms of like best performances so far, rating-wise, Glaive is actually in the top 10 for the world. Which seems so peculiar. I mean, if you extend that to top 12, you've got all the Astralis team in top 12. Which is crazy to think about. Like, that's how well versed in that team is, well balanced they are. Everybody is capable of playing really well. Glaive as an IGL, he frags so damn well. And I heard there was one thing that they do when he was practicing. So Zonic, during practice, he would sometimes call to let Glaive focus on being able to play just as an actual player, rather than think about what everybody else is doing. And it's something that you probably don't have that edge in most teams. Like, you don't have a coach that might be able to call for you.
Yeah.
Some coaches are there purely like a tactical side of it. Like, some of them coming to mind would probably be like I suppose I'm a pet would be one of them.
Yeah,
He's really well tactically versed, but he probably wouldn't be able to do the IGL side of it, right? So, you know, that sort of team, you wouldn't be able to do it. It's quite a crazy thing.
It is interesting, and it also gives him that added benefit to then take time to focus on himself as an individual player, because he can perform, and we've seen that countless times where Glaive will step up massively. And the whole roster's definitely been at the height of Astralis mania right now. For SpaceSoldiers, though, currently leading, it is a 6-1 scoreline, but the technical pause might actually slow down this game a little bit. I mean, they've had the momentum. They've really had Astralis in the palm of their hands for the past few rounds here, but it seemed like it was only going to continue. Will this pause affect them too negatively, though? That is the question.
I mean, you consider the round that just played out, right? That was actually Astralis' round to lose, if I'm honest. And Paz saved the round with that huge 4K. You know, he got a kill with the Molotov. He was flicking around everywhere, killing everyone in the sights. And that was such a hype moment for them that I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a tactical that they had called originally, or something. You know, if they had done it, just because everybody might get a bit too excited, right? You need to calm down. You need to be composed. With the tech pause, though, it's a bit different, right? You've got somebody who's working through issues, so he's not even thinking about the game right now. He's trying to fix his keyboard, whatever it is, and it's gonna, it's gonna affect your game.
Can definitely slow down the pace a little bit and leave you in limbo. So hopefully they will be ready for this one. It's a good start, especially on their T side. SpaceSoldiers, I mean, they play more into that aggressive style. They tend to set the precedent on their T side, right? That's where they have the AKs in their hands, especially for a player like Xantares. He wants to be a pacemaker. He wants to try and go in and really set up the tempo of the game. And with a Kalashnikov, he can absolutely slay. We saw that potential towards Banana with the early one-taps. There's a lot of aggression on the SpaceSoldiers roster, and it just depends if they're all going to step up. It seems like sometimes you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you can get the combo where Paz will be playing well with Xantares. Sometimes Engin will actually come in and give them a little bit of edge as well. Kaliax is another one that can sometimes just pop off incredibly well. And it's just all about the momentum, really, for a side like that.
I mean, looking at the scoreboard right now, I think it was Paz top of the scoreboard, followed up by Kaliax and Xantares.
Yeah.
So, if you have all three of them playing really well, things are looking fantastic for you if you're a SpaceSoldiers fan.
That is very true, and you imagine the Turkish fans will be pumped for this one. A good start so far, and for SpaceSoldiers, if we play devil's advocate here and say there was a chance they could actually overthrow Astralis, it'd be huge in terms of the standings, because those are some points that are going to be very hard for other teams to actually get out of Astralis. Big, the only ones that have been able to actually split a series so far. And they're not going to be wanting to drop that many maps over this season in the Pro League.
Yeah, if you think about it this way as well, SpaceSoldiers is the other undefeated team alongside Mouse Sports right now. Because Astralis, as you mentioned, they lost against Big. And SpaceSoldiers, if you started this Pro League season off thinking first two games, you've got NIP and Astralis. The second seed, and I think it was the 6th seed from last season. That's a tough start.
Yeah.
If you're thinking you might come out with 9 points out of 12, or even 12 of 12, that's crazy.
That would be incredibly huge. It seems like the issue has been remedied and we'll be ready to get underway with the game shortly, as SpaceSoldiers have cleaned up their keyboards and got everything ready to go once more, Ben. Astralis versus SpaceSoldiers here on Inferno is our first map. It's our second series of the day on the B stream. And it's already been looking pretty damn good. The G2 series was a nice spicy one to kick us off, and this has definitely been mouth-watering so far. SpaceSoldiers have looked good. Can they keep it up when we dive back in after the pause?
Let's have a look at that Astralis bias. We can see the device has got his AWP out. His only 3 kills so far did come on that first buy round with the AWP.
And they were incredible as well.
Yeah, and SpaceSoldiers stick to that 5 rifle play. So they're one of the few teams you don't see have a proper dedicated AWP, right? The engine normally picks it up, doesn't he? But they don't rely on it at all. Like, if they pick it up, it's something different, isn't it? And it looks like they're going towards that apps play, and Zipnix is taking so much damage from that molly.
Oh, brings them down to 68 HP already. The play towards the A site could work well, but Magisk, he's in position there.
He has to peek. As soon as he hears flashes getting pulled, he'll probably end up peeking. But they're not actually going to commit to this apps burst. Stat smoke. Magisk is probably thinking, I need to get some info at some point. Otherwise it's too late. And here comes the pop flash. Actually, it's a smoke. That timing could have been unreal for Magisk there.
You could see he was about to go for it as well, just as that smoke bloomed. And look at everyone else on the side of the SpaceSoldiers. They just push round. Zipnix needs to be so critical into the round, but Engin gets the flicker round somehow as he adjusts his crosshair and beheads him. They've got through Speedway, and the lurk play here as well could be huge. Major is actually a big set piece into this round, Ben, and he gets the first frag. Should find the follow-up as well.
They're going back A. And he gets the second one.
Major!
That's round over. 4v1 for Glaive. He's going to be thinking, I have to live now. That's huge for Major. 2 massive lurk fires. I just don't understand. Zipnix didn't even get the kill on Engine. He just flicked around and hit him straight in the head.
He was right in position there to be able to shut down that push, especially as they found that first pick. The Vice came through with the AWP, got the initial frag. Nothing from Zipnix. Device silenced. At that point, it's all just fallen apart. And Major, the man we wanted to see step up, who normally so tactically gifted this time, showing that he's got some brawns to bring to the server.
And he's actually picked up the AWP there as well. So that's quite an interesting one. So I was mentioning the AWP not as needed for him. So they have found out where Glaive is, though. I think Kaliak's is going to get the drop on him there. So he doesn't even get to save that gun. Astralis, the buy's not looking great. We're looking at potentially 8-1 here, unless they whip something out.
This is beautifully crafted so far from SpaceSoldiers. Fantastic start then.
So it might just be like a half buy coming out of Astralis here, right? You've got the max loss bonus coming in this next round. Deagle's getting purchased, some CZs. No armor so far. So they're actually not going to bother investing into that. They want their full grenades on the next buy round they have. Zipnix had such a good spawn. I think he got run boosted by Glaive on the way through. But unfortunately that molly sends him away. Doesn't take the damage this time. Goes against it. And SpaceSoldiers is going to keep going as they do. It looks good so far.
Slow round as they make their move up. They have a lot of utility. The same could not be said for Astralis. There's only 1 smoke here towards this B site. Actually, the 2. Glaive's got 1 as well. So they can try and burn some time off the clock if necessary, but it depends when they're going to go for that. First smoke gets dished out now, and SpaceSoldiers are kept at bay for at least a few more seconds. Device is allowed to rotate round as well, but SpaceSoldiers, they're just toying with them, Ben.
But Jessica's peeking straight into Kaliak's here. It depends on the timing. He doesn't see him in the corridor, and he's probably going to push him to the crosshair. What? He gets that kill! Whoa. That's a massive kill, to be fair. It separates the map entirely. That's the lurk player dead. There's still another smoke on that B site, as you mentioned, on Glaive. He'll be wanting to put that down very soon. There it is. There's 3 players here. Device, there's a gap in the smoke. He can fight this.
They're all stuck outside. They do not fancy pushing through, but instead they're going to actually flash push it. They go out. Glaive caught repositioning. Major slays Glaive, but Device comes through with a double kill. Dupree as well. The Deagle damage has been so deadly in the round, and it is only up to Paz. He's on a 1-on-2. He's got an elevated angle, but can he a cut above the rest when it comes down to his individual skill? The missed shot there from Dupree as he tries to launch out the Molotov, wants to buy himself some time, goes for the fake plant as well. Peeking around, gets the headshot connection on Magic, but he needs to plant, Ben. 7 seconds. Plant now or lose the round, forced into it. He's trying to get the angle, but Dupree couldn't see him. Pushes up, gets close, playing by headshot, as he's just there and he loses it. Goes down, SpaceSoldiers. And I mean, to be honest, just Paz in these clutch rounds has been phenomenal.
He saved them twice now against Eco rounds on that B site. The shot on Majisk was unreal. And this has to be a pause. I imagine Astralis' side, right? 8-1 down, surely.
They need to talk about this because it's getting out of hand.
The closer rounds they've had have been on Ecos. It doesn't really make sense. Like, normally Astralis, they're so efficient when it comes to these buy rounds. Yet somehow they're getting close on these Eco rounds and faltering at that last little kill. Absolutely insane.
The fact is as well, you could see Dupree from behind the fountain there, trying to get an angle.
See the little head.
Literally just fraction of a second away from being able to get a better position and try and take that shot. Pushes up towards Jenny, gets trapped in position, and it all comes crumbling down. And Astralis now, at least they have money. It's a saving grace. It's a fresh start. The loss bonus is racked up. They can reinvest. We've got the AWP on Device. Full utility, Ben. They've got kits. They've got the M4s. But they need to wake up right now.
If they lose this round, you mentioned the money is there, like the loss bonus. But it's on that CT side. It's very rough to actually get buys going. Even with that maximum loss bonus, it's not great. And they're committing 3 players towards Banana. And there is a player from SpaceSoldiers who's actually at the logs, though. If they find out that he's there, he's going to get absolutely bombarded. And Xantares, he's got out. He didn't take as much time as he could have. And Paz gets a kill towards mid as well.
Dupree slides in. Up through Boiler, but doesn't spot the angle. No reaction there at all from Dupree. Paz has beheaded him. Major caught off by timing. It was so awkward. Nearly finds that frag on the Glaive, but unfortunately didn't expect it. They push onto the site though, however, and Paz, he has been amazing. He's in a great position now to further this as well, but Device just waiting for the smoke to fade. As soon as it dissipates, he should find that flick. But luckily, Paz will recoil and hide back into the apartments for the meantime, Ben.
So you mentioned the kit is available. Glaive is the player with the kit. Paz is looking at this. As soon as that smoke comes, he might just wipe into it.
The
That's a
flick
huge
up
kill.
from Glaive, that's ridiculous. He's got the shot off, and Engin, it's all on him now. Big tag over on the device, the push comes through, they're trying to slide it onto the site. He has time to play with, and he's keeping them at bay. They jump on the bomb, but Device gets the shot off. Smart play from Glaive. He had the kit, he knew he had to get instantly on that bomb, dives onto it, and gets the defuse. A second round is finally achieved by Astralis, but it took so much.
It was a very expensive win at that as well. They're only the 2 players living. The bonus being that they did keep that AWP alive on device. And the question is, SpaceSoldiers, you can see Zantares, he was having a good game to start those first few rounds. Now he's kind of falling back a bit. Paz is taking the reins, isn't he? He's just leading. 15 kills already.
That's wild. Paz, he's pretty much 2 of the rounds they've got can be accounted purely to him with clutch plays. They now take a time out to adjust and work out what needs to be changed. This is the time where Major will get that huge input into the server. And he is similar to an Existence in terms of how he does approach these rounds. Very smart, tactically quite a gifted man. The SpaceSoldiers just going to be hashing it out as we carry on, Ben. Round 11. Astralis have only been able to achieve 2 rounds here. Our reigning champions have far too many titles to count at this point. Versus SpaceSoldiers, the upset underdogs that always perform when they need to.
They had a lot of good banana spawns there, but Zantares seems to be the only one heading that way. This looks like it's an apps-focused play from them. But there's mid-aggression coming down. Dupree's straight down. And Zantares didn't spot him. Unless they check second mid, he'll get a kill and he gets traded instantly though. That's really good for SpaceSoldiers.
Ooh.
And even better, Zantares takes out the door, but mid. It's just Majestic on this site.
He's literally one-bulleted Device through bottom mid and got the follow-up frag on Zipex as well. Luckily, the nade's going to row in and dunk him out of the server. Major goes down to follow suit, and it is a 2-on-2. Magisk finds that adjustment onto Kaliex, and it is up to Paz. He has been the clutch animal into these rounds, but can he pick up another one? Pushes out, finds that initial frag, dives down, but the dink comes through from Glaive. Launches out the smoke, the Molotov's going to come in. He barely stays alive there, Ben. A sliver of HP knocked off him, but all of the commotion's been done in the first few seconds of the round. There's a minute left, he picks up the AWP, misses the opening shot, holds the angle, gets out of there as well.
This is absolutely outrageous. Glaive is just chasing him now. He knows it's solo, he heard the dink. But Paz, he has so much time on the clock. Glaive's going to be playing mind games here. He doesn't know what to do. Paz is just holding for that push.
If for a second here Glaive thinks he's gone B, Ben, Paz just has to cut off the rotate. That's all he's got to do. But Glaive, he's not going to make those mistakes.
He's looking all the way down towards that T-steps angle. Paz has everything to do here. If he's through off the balcony, he has to make noise. And if anything, that will just guarantee, I think, that Glaive will catch him on this push here.
And you can see, trying to make no noise at all. That's why he hasn't unscoped. He stayed scoped the entire time, so he can try and stay silent.
Silently. I think he did do it fully as well.
He's gotten across. He's going to hear that plant, though. Paz gone for as far back of a location as he can. Try and get himself into a good position. Glaive's going to rotate around, but spots him. That's the kill that comes through. You can see the little stop there as well. Takes his hand off the keyboard, chills out for a second before he jumps on that. Can save the AWP for Device. And that is such a big round for Astralis. Their economy would have been in just disarray. The team would have been all over the shop. And what a way to win it.
And another pause does come through. I'm going to have to think that might be on Astralis' side. Because Glaive, that little stop there might have been to shout at his team. Because it seems like a mess across the map there.
The fact it's gone down to a 1v1 situation. And you take into consideration as well, if there would have been a little bit more health on the side of SpaceSoldiers rather than literally on 5 HP for a wild clutch where he's just howling out and trying to pick it up, could have been a different story.
Yeah, so 8-3. SpaceSoldiers, they can go for a buy here, but I don't think they need to force that issue right now. They could probably go for more of a half buy. So it is a tech pause as well. This game's not had a good luck with it so far, has it?
Yeah, apparently Astralis suffering some issues with their comms right now as they seek to get those remedied. A lot of pauses that have been coming through. So the momentum of this game has really been all over the shop. SpaceSoldiers, it doesn't seem like that's really affected Paz, luckily. He's still been performing nicely. You can see those stats now as well.
Yeah, look at that ADR on Paz, 129. It's unreal, well above any player on the server right now. And even for Astralis, consider that they're 8-3 down. There's no player on less than 60 ADR. So it shows that they've been doing damage on some of these rounds they've lost. although not resulting in the victory. But SpaceSoldiers, I wonder if they will buy into it though. I'm just trying to think, like, because 8-3 up, you don't actually need to force the issue, right? You're not losing like heavily, are you? Right? You know you can just slow it down a bit. You don't need to force anything. You can get like a half by CZ armor, get some smokes in, maybe do an execute of some kind, and then try and get that next buy round win. But the other half of it is, you've just lost a round where Glaive was the last man alive. The CT money is not going to be good. You can probably chase that. 1 round win is a reset here. For me, it's personally a absolute chase, just because that one player staying alive. Because if you're able to break their money in 1 instant round pick, and you build that into another one, you're probably winning the half there, like easily 12-3.
It's an 8-3 scoreline. There's a lot to play for here. Astralis, I mean, the round they won there, off the back of Glaive and a huge clutch, just ridiculous it even got down to that point, Ben. But we are ready to carry on with the matchup. Round 12, 8-3 is the scoreline. Where's it going to go from here?
Yeah, so they do buy into it as well. As I thought, they're going to chase that money. They know they can break Astralis' economy in 1 round win here. And there's been a lot of focus from SpaceSoldiers on that apartment, hasn't there? You know, Astralis, they've been trying to fight that banana whenever they could. But SpaceSoldiers not really giving any chance for it. They're focusing heavy on that mid, hoping to challenge that AWP on the arch side. Here's that execute I mentioned they might go for. Line up the smokes. I believe that is the smoke bomb in front of the library, along with the smoke on quad and the one in the archway. And they get the entry.
Device is done. That's the AWP out commission. The spray from Glaive only tags them a little bit, but it won't finish them off. They're trying to play anti-flash, but Paz just does all the damage anyway. Comes through, annihilates Dupree, and they wanted to chase the economy, but now they just need to chase Magisk out of the server, which they will. Major puts a bullet through where his fort gets processed, and now it's all down to one man. ZipX, as he rotates back around, gets the connection, the headshot on KaliX, and it's up to him to save the day. A 1-on-3, Ben, but the chances are minimal. And he realizes this. Looks like he is just backing off. Going to call it quits.
And that execute is coming through. I mean, Paz, again, he's playing so well this game.
A hat-trick into the round.
And they're all entries. He was going up arch, kills the Vice on the AWP angle, gets another one on the arch, and then he even gets Dupree, who got flashed in by Magisk.
Because we're at what now? 21 frags already for Paz after how many rounds?
This is the 12th round playing through, so it's a solid nearly 2 kills a round.
Which is crazy.
Against Astralis of all teams as well. The world champions, the reigning champions of pretty much every title we have.
Nearly every league that exists and every major title.
Absolutely crazy. So it's 19-6.
Wow.
And Astralis, there's not even one player popping off for them. No players on double digits even. So he does drop a CZ. He's dropping 2 CZs actually, ZipNix. So they are forcing into this. The money was not in a good situation. They have to buy back into it. This round is the big one. If SpaceSoldiers take this, they're probably going to take the half 12-3.
Oh, Santares forced to extinguish the smoke there so he doesn't get turned into a crisp in the Molotov. He does push up and get a bit aggro. In terms of the firepower and how effective Santares normally is at gaining top banana control, you feel like if he went for the fight, he would have taken it, but he's forced back down, Ben. They're just toying with them. There's now a 3-man stack towards B as well because of the early commotion.
If the grenade usage is fantastic into the banana bit there, this could be round over in an instant.
Glaive tries to open up the round, actually gets the follow-up headshot as well. It's a hat-trick from Glaive! He's just ripped his way through them. Glorious play. And that is the blow that might end the round for SpaceSoldiers. KaliX still trying to fight through, shuts down Dupree, and at least gives them a break for the moment. But it is a 2-on-4 round. ZipNix and Glaive are nearly dead, Ben. I mean, if they sneeze near them, they'll take them out of the server at this point. They're so low.
The scary bit for Astralis is Paz is still alive. He's recovered so many rounds for SpaceSoldiers this game. He's got full grenades as well, and he's heading to that B-bomb site. He's been absolute king on that site so far this game. And they are boosting Device up on that new box. If a Molotov were to come in, I don't think it will, but chances are they're going to go contact into this site. Glaive playing the coffin area. It'll be a smoke towards CT on the way in. And they are walking through.
Talk about utility as well, Ben. He's got the Molotov and the HE. Glaive, he's only on 5 HP. First contact goes through. You killed the Vice. There's the follow-up frag. Glaive, he was so low. He's weak in that scenario, and he's killed easily. The bomb can go down. Paz can plant it, and then push into a power play and try and lock this down. He's in a good angle. He's going to take that fight soon as well. Paz barely misses as the push comes round, as he just holds for it, extends round, gets the kill on Xyp9x. It's all up to Magis. They've only seen Paz as well. Oh, the turnaround! Magisk gets the kill, brings it back, tries to go for the double down, but Galax, he's too strong, Ben. That's the 10th round picked up for SpaceSoldiers.
KaliX and Paz. The combination there, it was a 2v5. 3 kills for KaliX, 2 for Paz. 10-3 now to SpaceSoldiers. And Astralis, the money is gone. They have to force into this round. They're on a double eco. This is the last 2 rounds of the half. They need to buy in, and they need rounds.
I mean, if Paz keeps up this average right now, we're looking at 25 frags at the half, which is mental.
Against Astralis, too. It's a crazy situation to be in.
You can see he's pumped as well.
Yeah, a lot of quick movements with the mouse here. High adrenaline situation. Device did get tagged there. He's actually been chased. Major gets that kill. And Dupree, oof, Major.
Santaras as well. He might have been brought down to just 4 HP, but he's found the frags. They push out towards the site. Magisk is there, but he's low. Molotov goes in, but it's actually a kill from Engin on the Mach 10 of all weapons. The last player alive is Glaive. He's over by Library. He is a bit of a bookworm. He's got a big brain, but does he have the actual firepower to back it up into this round? CZ in hand, a ton of utility, but no real chance into the round. And no one's going to contest against him either. They haven't fanned out that way. If he saves what he has on him, at least till the final round, it will be a bit of a bolster for their economy, as they don't have much money going into what is going to be the last round of the half, Ben. This could very well be a 12-3 half, like you said.
If he had a kit, this would be a very tempting late round attempt, wouldn't it? Like, you're just thinking, you know, how many players are hunting on the other side of the map? Yeah. He'll peek out here. He'll see that player exit towards the short side. He wonders if there's players actually in pit.
It's a smart nade.
Yeah, nobody there. I suppose we can don that as the Dozier nade, I suppose, because of that big one against Immortals.
Just to cancel out the save.
So he does keep his arm out on all those grenades he mentioned, except for HE. And honestly, SpaceSoldiers is such a good position here, 11-3.
Look at that as well. The stats speak for themselves. A free KD for Paz, 131 ADR, Ben. Over the space of 14 rounds.
Crazy. So you can see an engine there. He's dragging an AWP with him, as well as an AK. And that's such a lot of damage!
Wow.
Oh, Glaive, 92 damage. He's barely seen the enemy there. And Device, because of all that early info there, they're having to force rate, and Xyp9x gets flashed in, doesn't even get the kill.
No frag found. I mean, SpaceSoldiers, at least they've been tagged up. They're a little bit black and blue in places, as KaliX, Santaras and Major get tagged. Paz as well loses a sliver of HP, but...
They've been double nading this boost.
Oh!
That's one nade, but Glaive was that low.
Didn't even need the follow-up nade. KaliX as well should get the kill. The Vice actually comes through. Tremendous stuff as he gets the double down. It is a 3-on-2, but the weapons are weak. The Arsenal's not that strong, and nor are the players, as Dupree will die. And Magisk's the only one left, slaughtered by Major. A 12-3 half. And no, it's not to Astralis. SpaceSoldiers are the team that are dominating right now.
And Paz and KaliX dragging them through. Think about how many rounds SpaceSoldiers won with just 1 or 2 players alive too. It was mainly against ecos.
Yeah.
Like, the buy rounds for Astralis were pretty lackluster. But SpaceSoldiers, all that matters to them is that round score, 12-3. Moving on to that CT side, you got to be thinking they're in a very good position to win this game.
Comes down to what could be such an important pistol round, and the scary factor is Astralis. They had a good start to their pistol round, but it crumbled away. It was taken by SpaceSoldiers, and the players on that side of SpaceSoldiers, all of them are very, very versed with pistols. Major himself, incredibly talented when it comes down to that USP potential. Everyone can step up. With Paz popping off like this as well, Ben, you can't help but feel like if this pistol round goes their way, they should be snapping this game up pretty damn quickly.
You have to think so, don't you? I mean, the momentum is with them. But Astralis is probably one of the better teams to be in this situation, right? They've got that sports science background. They know this game is not over. No. They can still win this. And 12-3 is that scoreline. You always think, this is doable. even if you lose the pistol, you can potentially get it back in it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you think back to the days of TSM, one of the big talking points was how some of these players at the time, they struggled with that mental fortitude. That was what caused them to run into awkward issues. But in the days of Astralis, especially with this roster, it's like an iron dome, Ben. You just can't get past it. They are never going to be broken. They can always come back.
For sure. I mean, if you think about a team that is having issues like that right now, I mean, Liquid is probably your best bet, isn't it? You know, so many top 4th places, they just can't get past that last little bit. Astralis, they brought in that sports science person who helped them with it. The mental side of not even just the game, but just thinking about how you play the game. Like, that person doesn't need to know how to play CS. They know how to talk about when you're at a situation where you are probably looking at defeat.
Yeah. How to come back from a high-pressure situation, not allow your mental fortitude to be broken, and reset yourself. Take it as a fresh half. And Astralis, they're very well good at that. Are they going to be effective in the pistol round? It comes down to the frags here, Ben. This pistol round decides so much, and we're into it.
Yeah, no kit on that SpaceSoldiers side. They're probably looking to take it to Astralis here. The confidence is with them, but it looks like Astralis taking it towards them at Banana. Zantara is going to be tested here along with KaliX.
Oh, first contact is found. Zantares gets attacked, but Dupree will find the frag as they push up Major. Expects the lurk, but looks away. Almost just as if he didn't fully want to clear the angle. All of a sudden, Astralis explode into action. It's only Paz that's left, and he will go down, beheaded by Device. And the opening pistol round goes their way.
If you're wanting to make a comeback, that is the pistol you want to try and get there. So you can see the odds there. Reflecting this current scoreline, right? Think about it before the game. Yeah. It was 1.13 on Astralis. Complete switch around now. And SpaceSoldiers is hoping to push further from that. They don't even force into this round. They know they've got a significant lead. We don't need to waste money on trying to force this situation early. Astralis can make 3 players to a banana by the start here.
Ooh, early detection there. Zantara is going to pop off a couple of warning shots at the very least, but Magisk with the entry takes down KaliX.
Spells deep for Zantara really has to fight that situation. Because of the lack of investment here from SpaceSoldiers, they're not too bothered, I don't think. They've only got Deagle there. Major didn't even buy a pistol. He's probably thinking, I can probably try and bait for you if you need it. But Astralis, they didn't even bring the bomb with them at Banana.
No.
You can see a deep hunt coming through there. Magisk already that far into CT. Dupree holding for this apartment exit. Major and Paz thinking about facing towards mid. But instead they go into boiler.
And that's the worst case scenario, Ben. If they walk out here...
Dupree is low.
Yeah. Dupree is low, but he should find the frags. The MP5, a very effective weapon in close range. Goes for the headshot, and he will get it. Cleans them up.
Another clean round. Astralis, they're yet to die on this T side. This one should be a similar round, really. I would like to see SpaceSoldiers do something special. You see the nades being bought. 3 HE grenades already in play here. This could be devastating if they're all used towards Banana. 4 grenades. Are we going to see a 5th from Paz? Sadly not. I was hoping to see a 5th, just for reasons.
The CSS mixes strat coming back, Ben. The old nade stack down Banana.
The question is, how will these land? There's 2 players going towards Banana. They're delaying those throws.
Oh.
If they'd thrown it instantly, it might have worked. But look how much damage the return grenades did.
My goodness, that's nearly the entire squad dead. And not only that, this is fantastic for Magisk as well. If someone has to step up on the side of Astralis, you'll want it to be that man, as he's already found countless frags now to open it up. Zipnex with a nade on Engine to blow him out the server device for the final blow. And this is good. They've got firepower again. It's starting to come out through. Magisk starting to rise to the top of the pack. With an AK in his hands and a ferocity in his heart, he definitely can be a stopping force for the side of Astralis, but this is where the game now begins anew. We have the buy for SpaceSoldiers. There is no AWP. It's a 5-rifle setup because of the economy they have to play with. Utility investment comes through as well. This round means so much, Ben.
You can see in the grenades that SpaceSoldiers got, the fact that they didn't force into that second. Everyone is able to get full Molotovs, HE grenades, everything they need to go into this round. And Zipnik starts off, he gets that entry, but there's an instant trade there. 3v4 now.
It looked like it was going to be another early start with the advantage for Astralis, but instead the knockback in favour of SpaceSoldiers is going to leave them a little bit timid.
For sure, Device, he's not actually seen a CT yet, he's just been naded over that wall. Glaive, leading by example, he's got that kill towards Engine there. And Major, he needs to do something big here.
The battle of the IGLs, and Major proving that he's stronger, as he will get the frag back on Glaive. 2 players on the site as they'll try and get that bomb down. The nade rolls in. It tags them up slightly, scratches them. They're blocked off as well. They can't push through because of the Molotov, and they need to wait for KaliX to rotate. It's a 2-on-3, Ben, but they have tons of utility. Magisk only has 1 flash.
There is a kit in play, though, and KaliX, he'll be hoping to come up short side. He'll Molotov that back part of pit. And from there, though, unfortunately, for them, there isn't actually a player there. Major with that huge smoke. He's thinking Molotov in the site too. But Magisk, he's ready to face that side. Unfortunately, the player's not there.
Major gets tagged early, brought down to 32 HP. There's both of the frags coming through. KaliX gets the adjustment, spams in towards Pit, but doesn't know where he is. Can't see him, realizes that it's now or never to get out of there, so he'll grab the AK and try and scurry away, but he is slain. The Vice should go down to the bomb blast, which he will. 12-7, Astralis, they're getting these rounds back, but they're not clean. They're messy each time, and that's the difference factor.
Yeah, you got me thinking for KaliX there. Little did he know that Device was that low. 1 stray bullet was all he needed. He had that kit. Unfortunately, it doesn't land. I know SpaceSoldiers 12-7. It's getting closer, that scoreline. It'll be in the back of their minds. They don't want to lose this lead.
SpaceSoldiers as well, they normally do set more of a precedent on their T side. It's where we see them excel. They like that faster tempo. Players like Paz and Zantares can pop off. Ooh. Damage comes through. An early contact here towards the B site. Magisk, he's just been trying to be the can opener towards B each and every round, Ben. Wants to get in there for a little snack.
Trying to open a kind of whoop ass on the B site, it seems. He's been successful so far this half. But it doesn't look like the play's going to be towards that site there. Major's lining up a pop flash there. 4 paths to peek into. This timing is all about whether Astralis are even looking at this smoke.
Ooh, Paz with the first, but Glaive was able to readjust his crosshair. Ooh, as he carries it on as well. Massacring with his AK. It's interesting that it's actually Glaive as well to sort of get reinvigorated.
He's got 3 kills now into this round. The classic case. Glaive's always been one of those IGLs. He wants to lead by example when needed. But he's showing it right now. 12-8. Astralis lose 1 player in that round. And that was simply due to a pop flash from SpaceSoldiers there too. So if you're SpaceSoldiers, if you lose this round, you got to start thinking of pauses because you're not too sure what's happening. Major now buys an AWP. I mentioned the AWP's not been a major player in that SpaceSoldiers side for the most part. They finally resort to using it now, and it will be on that A side. This nade could be bang on here, depending on the timing. I like that peek though. They double nade the corner and allow Device it to peek into it. And it masks the noise. They don't know he's actually crossed here.
Ooh. Dupree gets tagged. I think that was the AWP shot from Major that came across. Leaves him with 16 HP.
Yeah, a lot of damage there. And another nade came over that wall. Did a lot of damage again. Little does Zantares know, he's inflicted a lot of damage this round without really seeing them.
So they start to set themselves up, line up for the flashbangs and smokes. It does appear to be a true play towards the B site into this round. There's still 3 players from the CT side over on A though.
There's 2 mollies still on that B site as well. This X-Suit's coming in now. KaliX isn't even thinking about using his Molotov. Zantares has used his. KaliX uses his as well. This takes them, have to come through it.
Oh, they extinguish it. But they run in, everything's set ablaze, an awkward spam comes through, but just composes himself and gets the kill. Zantares also goes down. There's the follow-up headshot. Glaive has been phenomenal in this second half, Ben.
You see how low these Astralis players are as well. They just can't get that finishing hit. The B hold was not there. I mean, a lot of damage is great, but you need that kill. When you get those kills holding the site, the players retaking think a lot more highly of their chances. And this time, as you can see, Major and Engine, they're just thinking, no, we can't do that. 5v2, we can't. It's only after they watch the game back, they'll realise how low those enemies were. And that's a hell of a shot.
That's rough as well for Major. Losing the AWP, as he will go down. Engine in the 1-on-4. Just trying to stay alive if he can. I mean, can't really go back and try and save the AWP. Just has to let this one slip away.
Yeah, as mentioned, you'll have to give that up. And Astralis, they don't even pick the AWP up. They know right now, rifling on Device is working. That's one of the very, very good things about having a player like Device. He doesn't need that AWP to succeed. He can rifle with ease. He's more than capable of doing it. And this was 12-3 at the half. 12-9 now. Astralis, they're making this comeback happen.
And for SpaceSoldiers, in terms of the buy, it's really just that one saved weapon on Engin. That's the only thing they have to give them an extra edge into this round. And for once, Astralis don't put all their eggs in one basket towards B.
Bit more advanced play here from the Astralis players in the apartments. Should be a burst coming through as soon as they get the flashbang. Although they might just walk out. The mini pit smoke comes through, and that's the flashbang. This is going to be the push here. The mid kill comes through from Device. He falls it up, but Device gets taken out by Major too.
Major with one, grabs the AK, given so much time, Ben! As he gets the follow-up frag, does go down, not even a chance to fire off a shot from the AK, but Xantares peeks out. 5-7, can pay off, but he's not in a stationary position. He needs to try and play aggressive here. It's a 2-on-3.
Tell they're thinking of boosting behind it. There's a gap at the bottom left of that smoke. They don't know there's a player this close either. Now they do. Xantares, he's too low. The spam comes in, does get taken down, and Kaliex, last player alive. No chance here. Hoping to get the kill on Majestic, but Majestic gets that drop on him. 12-10. This scoreline is closed on them very quickly, and we've not even seen a pause from them.
Oh, they've just been letting it happen. It's crazy it's been able to get to this position now. 2 rounds disparity between the two teams. Considering the first half, you didn't think it'd come back this quickly, but you can never count out Astralis.
And I mentioned in the previous matchup in Inferno, Xantares was 5 for 18. He's currently 9 for 16. Even when they had that strong lead, he wasn't playing particularly well.
It's been Paz that's been bailing him out a lot of these rounds.
Kaliex towards B, he's been naded to half health. They're trading a lot of blows at Banana in terms of HE grenades. And that's a good entry. Paz with the AWP. It's an interesting one. This is a much better round from them. This is probably the closest round we've seen in favour of SpaceSoldiers, sorry.
You look as well, Device left on 4 HP there. Kaliex to the elevated angle, finds the headshot, and it's on Majisk as well. That's another full HP man. Device, as he's forced to fall back to get into a safety position. This could very well be a flawless round for SpaceSoldiers. That would put them on a 13-10 scoreline. But for Astralis, they built up a lot of bank. They were winning rounds in and out constantly. They've been able to get themselves a buffer to play with, so even if they lose this, they can carry on getting those rebuys back to dive straight into the action.
The smoke on the entrance of site comes through. Xantares takes the fire, and he kills both of them. Phenomenal. All 5 alive is the big thing, right?
Yeah.
SpaceSoldiers now, even if they lose this round, they will have another buy. So they finally win a round. It took them 7 rounds this half.
And that's one of the rounds where you hope Xantares now feeling himself a little bit more as well. It's a big confidence play, right? You get a hat trick into that round, all 5 of you stay alive, he should be a bit more perky.
Yeah, I mean, I was mentioning it that round that he wasn't really showing up. And that 3 kills there, as mentioned, he was on 9, now on 12. He's got to build from that. And Astralis, they're sticking with this 5 rifle setup. Heavily towards Banana. And nade again, Kaliex takes that hit again. He was at sandbags last time, and Paz, with the AWP, gets the entry once more.
The nades coming down, Xantares finds the headshot off the back of the confidence play. Major will be slaughtered by Dupree at the very least. And Dupree tries to carry it on. Nearly actually does find the follow-up frag, but they're able to peel it back. And they're going to launch that Molotov out to at least keep him far enough away.
Very rough situation there for Dupree, using that smoke towards balcony as the smoke came in from the CTs.
Ooh.
And Kaliex does get that kill toward Device. Device was absolutely destroyed by those grenades at Banana once more. And this is looking a better round for SpaceSoldiers again. 4v2.
Seems like Astralis will divert their gaze back over at A. The worst case scenario for him here though, Ben, if they do actually decide to wrap around through arch side, there is an AWP scoped in,
They're trying to bait the rotate. Dupree, he's probably going to get a good position here on that rotate. Kaliex is solo, he's got his knife out! There's no situation there where you need to have your knife out.
You should have expected he was still close.
It wasn't even the normal player. And that was all on Glaive. He's got plenty of health, no grenades, and only 30 seconds left.
Spots out the arm, a little bit of elbow,
Ooh,
and a little bit how's your father comes around as well as he's going to push in. Just crab walks up and crunches down. Xantares definitely starting to feel a little bit more like his old self. 14 frags now to his name, but past 27 as he's found another 2 frags here. match comes into a pause, it's got to be Astralis. They need to duke this out. They've got to try and work out what's going on. They have so much cash, but they don't have a lot of time, Ben.
Yeah, I was going to say, the big thing is they must start talking, thinking, we might need to include the AWP here. Paz has got entry kills the last 2 rounds, and it's affecting us severely on the A side of the map. And Paz traditionally is not your kind of AWP. He's normally the entry frag with an AK.
It's a fact as well. I mean, Engin, he's having a bit of a slow game here. Normally you expect to see him on the AWP, obviously not feeling it. They've decided to transfer that over to Paz, who's having a great performance, and he's just having a blast. It's a field day for him.
For sure right now, and 14-10, I mean, you consider Astralis, those rounds came so quickly, but then as soon as SpaceSoldiers win 2, it starts getting a bit scary for them again. They're like, oh crap, we haven't actually made the comeback fully yet. We're still in a position to lose. And Astralis, as I mentioned, that device AWP is now coming in. Question is, will SpaceSoldiers do anything different to try and counteract that? Or will they do the same thing again? Because the rounds they've won have been quite clean. There's 5 alive and then 3 or 4, I believe. So when you compare it to that, it's a lot better. So Paz is actually AWPing in the apartments. Does get blinded off the angle, doesn't get a chance at shooting, and Santaris, what? That's an interesting situation, I guess.
Bit bizarre, but he gets out of there. He has that smoke as well, so as long as he doesn't get tagged again and can just drop the smoke when the push comes through, he can burn a lot of time off the clock at the very least.
So Astralis, they've got control of this brackets area. Paz's AWP, though, is going to have to make a move. You can see him slowly moving up the short side. Giving it another bit more time, he's going to have to go for a pick here, and he might be able to catch Astralis off. He's peeking his angle. Glaive watching for it, though. That's a big kill to get.
And Glaive has been so important for the success of Astralis throughout this matchup as well. He's been the only one actually really reinvigorating them in a lot of rounds. And here's a 4 versus 5. The T's are all grouped up outside of A, but Engin comes back through. However, there's a trade. Device with the AWP gets the counter pick. Major trying to keep himself low to the ground on the bomb site as he knows he's so impactful here. Avoids the Molotov. The smokes are still down, but his teammates die all around him. It's finally started to spread and tag him up. He peeks out, gets one. The farm comes through as he tries to get the tag, Ben. They're pushing onto the site. Device will biff uppercut him, and it falls back onto KaliX.
Looking like a very solid round here from Astralis. KaliX, he does have a kit, but retaking that A bomb site when you have no grenades, it's a big ask. He's going to fall back and give them this round. So I suppose you consider the big difference maker there was that kill onto Paz, right? Paz, it was very obvious that that player was going to come through. As soon as you lose that top mid area, when you do not control Banana, the AWPer is going to try and make a play. And normally it's through that short side. And Glaive, as you mentioned, very important to that T-sub right now, gets the kill that was required. If KaliX were to have a HE grenade here, we could see a big dozy grenade. Unfortunately, he does not.
Yeah.
And little does he know, there is 3 players back there, but he might actually run out as soon as this bomb explodes and try and check it. But he doesn't feel like he's confident with the money that they do have, though.
No, not going to fancy it. 14-11. The SpaceSoldiers work out the buys. They switch weapons back around and get themselves into a position to carry on with this matchup. A pause will come through. I can imagine this will be SpaceSoldiers at this point.
You think so, right? Paz is the only player who's not actually bought yet. He's got money to get an AWP, but I feel like the AWP is now so... Astralis know that it's involved properly, and that might change things just on their game plan. Because Astralis, as you, like we saw, the device purchase basically showed if there's an enemy AWPer, I need to get involved with the AWP. And I don't think Paz is the player to actually take the AWP battle 1v1 against the device. I don't think he'll win it. It's not a battle I advise them taking. I'd rather see them go full rifles and try and do something from there.
I'd say he's a better rifler. I think he has more potential to take those fights and win them with a rifle in his hands. Especially with how Astralis have been playing, it's that brute force strategy. As soon as they get one pick, they just try and swarm you.
Yeah, and especially with how they know that the AWP was involved. And you know, it's all well and good to like get that AWP when they were losing so many rounds in a row. And it was clearly the difference maker. But now, something else needs to change. The AWP wasn't going to work again. He's actually gone for it though, so this is quite a big question mark. If this round goes wrong, Astralis will be in a really good position to try and take this map.
Means a lot. Round 26. This is one for the history books here. As we get into action. Paz, what is he going to get up to with this weapon? So far just playing on the close angle. Lots of support and they're all grouping up, Ben. They're going for it.
This is really different. Normally they've tried to fight that banana control. They've normally given up banana control on SpaceSoldiers side. And the Apps Burst, they're playing triple quad. They're going to get caught out here, whether it's the mid players or through Apps.
No one's focusing towards Balcony Ben. The backstab should just completely eradicate them. This whole round could fall apart in seconds when they burst out of apartments. And looks like Zipnix and Dupree are going to be the men to make the big play.
Kill.
The Vice does go down. Paz
is looking
to flick around, but Zipnix gets the headshot. Paz has to readjust now. Glaive comes back through, kills Major, lands the AWP shot, keeps it close. Glaive gets shot in the back, the double kill comes through. Glaive trying to get the kill, but can't quite muster it up. Glaive will punish him, and it's a 1-on-2 now.
Glaive, he's already been in a rough situation before. He needs to get a 4K to win the round. It's a very big ask. But if he can do it, this increases their chance of winning by so much.
He has looked so sexy in some of these rounds in terms of how much damage he's dealt out. Launches out the grenade vent, transfers some damage, rips 50 HP off Galax, gets the kill on Xantares. Surely Glaive won't save the day here. As the push comes across, toys with the opposition. Galix in a one-on-one. Glaive is on 29 HP, but it doesn't matter. He finds the headshot. Glaive has been unreal.
Just when we think Paz has saved the day with his AWP, it gets completely negated. Glaive with the 4K. He's top of the team for Astralis right now. He's dragging them through.
Literally, every round they should have lost, Glaive has stepped up, got a 3K, got a 4K, and literally dragged them through by their coattails.
And because of that, SpaceSoldiers' money is not there. We're looking at 14-13 for Astralis here, and this is a huge play on that SpaceSoldiers side. An Engine, he took a lot of damage in the corridor there through the wall. Just as we thought, that triple quad setup from SpaceSoldiers, we could see it going wrong. And Paz was saving the day. Absolutely crazy situation.
It was set up to fail. They're all focusing on one angle. Paz with the turnaround completely blows into bits. And it's wild to think about. It's also crazy because the position that Glaive's now put the team in. I mean, he gets the first pick into this round and he deserves it. He's been amazing. And this should be Astralis taking it to a 14-13. This game has so much left to give, Ben. This could very well still bode for an overtime, potentially. At the very least, the full 30 rounds are going to be played.
You've got to be thinking so, right? I mean, the issue is with SpaceSoldiers, the only way they've got close to win rounds was through the AWP use. And they just don't really have the money for it, right? I mean, the only player that can probably drop an AWP is Engine here. If he lives and is able to keep the AK, it could be quite big for him in terms of saving money.
Well, that's 2 guns now saved. If Paz can grab the AK and get out of there before they get towards mid, which he will.
But if you're Astralis, your money isn't actually that good. Like, Glaive is the only player who's got a lot of money. This chase wouldn't really be worth it. You can hold it for the exit, but I don't think it's worth chasing further. You can see Glaive pushing up because, as I mentioned, he's got so much. But otherwise, I don't think... Oh, he's getting spammed through the wall! He's just spammed from the bridge!
Yeah.
What? That's so unfortunate for Paz.
They actually might get this frag here as well. Engin, he's just sitting in pit. But Glaive's right there. All he's got to do is drop out and clear below, and he's confident enough to go for it. He's going to dive out. He should find it. It was a bit awkward, but he will get it in the end. Eliminates Engin.
So I think he can get the AWP. He can drop the AWP if he really wants it. It feels like they need it, right? Because Paz, I questioned it at first, but he's having such a good game. He's landing every shot when he needed. But they're not going to go for it. This is going to be full rifles. Perhaps something aggressive from SpaceSoldiers could be the things that they need. Absolutely huge round though. If SpaceSoldiers lose, it's not much loss bonus there either.
It's a different setup as well.
Yeah, Dupree, he's going to get a shock here if he peeks this.
Oh!
Gets the 1 player and he gets the 2!
My goodness!
No way should that happen.
Dupree! Absolutely disgusting! This man is filthy, Ben. As he's been able to push out onto the site as well. That's going to be the bomb going down. Single-handedly, he's won the round there. The double entry. Sure, I mean, if he gets the first, you expect the trade to come back, but no. Just rips him a new one. Leaves him lifeless on the ground, and that is going to be 14-14, and it does not bode well for SpaceSoldiers one bit.
I've got to question what the setup was to begin with, if I'm honest. I mean, I guess they're waiting for the spam to go, and then they'll go down the corridor. But surely you wait, not next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, surely there's a bit of a separation. Like, maybe have somebody on the rail, and then the other player in the corner. Especially, I mean, the 2 B players, they're repelling this hunt. Because right now it's crucial that they keep those guns alive. purely because of how much money they have invested previously. And Zontaris, he's looking better. He has been getting scripts with the game in the last few rounds.
Yeah, he's been definitely coming back into it, but 16 frags. I mean, he's still pretty quiet for this one. And all right.
Have they just changed the map on the server?
I think they have. They've changed the map on the server, so we don't actually get to see who wins.
We actually can't tell you who's actually won there.
We literally have no idea.
Won.
Yes,
Somebody's won.
Oh my goodness! Right? What a great game to be ruined by the players or someone changing the server.
I can't believe they've done this.
That's really annoyed me. That's actually really tipped me off. I was enjoying that.
I can't believe they've done this.
Do we even know who's won?
No. I'm going to assume it's Astralis.
That's not happened for years. I don't remember the last time.
That was normally an online issue,
yeah,
wasn't
because someone would change the map before they had actually finished it on the GoTV relay, so you just never get to see. And I still don't know who's won.
I'm going to assume it was Astralis. I reckon they ran with the money, the advantage that they did have, right? But, I mean, it was a good game up to round 28. I couldn't tell you about 29 or 30.
What the... I'm tilted now.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It was a good game. Round 29-30.
It was actually a great game. It was a really good series. I mean, if Astralis have made the comeback, fantastic. If SpaceSoldiers have won, fantastic. But who knows?
Yeah.
You can only assume Astralis have probably won it.
3 points has gone somewhere. So... it's pretty good, though, isn't it?
Yeah. What great banter.
That's
fantastic.
Ah, that's so unusual. Yeah, I mean, so if you think about it as a grand scheme of things, right? SpaceSoldiers 12-3 at the half.
Yeah.
It was 12-10 when they first started getting rounds back. It got to 14-10. And then they drop all the way down to 14-14. And who knows from there. But they've got to be thinking that CTSN needs to be better, right? I can understand losing the pistol. They also sent a clean sweep. And then the first buy, but we never saw them use pauses until it was, you know, arguably too late.
And we never saw the end of the map.
We didn't. That's true. Yeah, I mean...
I still have no idea who's won. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're working on it. We're looking into it. But...
I can open HLTV on my phone.
Just to find out. Right, I mean, the thing is, realistically, you're looking at that point, most likely what's happened is they did get the reset. Astralis have then won out from that point. They've taken it 16-14. That seems likely. Well, apparently we're going back to game.
Oh.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, it's still going on, Ben.
And Astralis might be taking it in overtime right here.
Oh my goodness. SpaceSoldiers are on the retake, Ben. The frag's gone through. Enkin, he's on a 1v1 versus Glaive. He's now got a 30 bomb. This is ridiculous, Glaive. If he gets this next frag, he can close it out. It'll be a 16-14. If not...
Engine doesn't know where he is at all. There's no kit in play. It's all beside me. He gets the kill.
It. Ben, it's overtime.
So after we thought the match was over.
It's not actually over.
We're going
it's
to
overtime, Ben.
Wow.
What a slobber knocker.
That was an absolute cliffhanger. We've come into a post-plant 3v2.
It's like an omnibus of Emmerdale, and they've left me on a cliffhanger, and I'm just not sure what's happened. And we've dived back in, and I'm all over the place, Ben. My emotions have been played with. I feel like a toy doll.
I wonder what's happened, Ben, in that case.
So Astralis have won that round. They've gone through. They've been able to get to match point. They were perfectly set up to win that. We've come back in what? In a 3-on-2
in favour of Astralis,
yeah.
But there was 2 players in 10 HP and no kit on the CT side.
And Glaive is the last man alive, now at a 30 bomb. So him and Paz both dropping 30 bombs into the game. I'm flabbergasted.
Crazy scenes. Scenes we've never seen before.
No.
I don't understand what would happen to the GoTV relay in that case.
I don't know, because I mean,
somebody's just gone, yeah, it's probably over.
Nah. Well, that's the thing, right? The only reason that made sense to me in my mind is because that used to happen, where players or admins would change the map on the server before GoTV had finished, and then that just cut off.
Yeah. There's a command, though, isn't there?
And that just completely cut off the GoTV, and you'd lose it. Because I remember it used to happen all the time with the UK shows. We'd do on the
you'd be 14-14, you'd be like, and somebody won.
Yeah. But obviously, a 14-14...
That was this close as well.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really know what's going on. But it's still going. We are in overtime. And this game has been a cracker. Absolutely fantastic stuff so far.
And it does mean, though, that SpaceSoldiers will not be able to keep that 100% regulation win record, though.
No, because this does mean one of these two teams is going to have to take a victory in overtime. At the very least, though, for SpaceSoldiers, if you take into consideration so far...
If you ask them before the game, would you take an overtime loss or victory, they'll probably be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Against Astralis, yeah.
Because this is great for them. I mean, this is by far currently the best team in the world. Yeah. It's fair to say, you know, they've got every title under the belt. Everything's been going their way, and they look phenomenal. And it's not even as if there's been a dip in recent form, because we're talking Major to Istanbul, the Pro League now, and they've been looking damn good. But for SpaceSoldiers to force them into overtime, if they walk away with this, they can still get 2 points. At the very least, they're guaranteed a point now. Definitely. And there's still a whole nother map to go.
Yeah, they still got Train ahead of them, which, if you consider recent form for Astralis, it's been a strong map for them. There was a game at Istanbul against MIBR. Device had, I think it was 220 ADR at round 7. He had 21 kills at that pace, which is unreal. That's 3 kills a round. So, you know, looking at overtime here though, if you consider the money situation, right, Astralis were not able to get a very good buyout when they were on that CT side. SpaceSoldiers were not able to get a good buyout. This is 16k. We might see double orbs coming out that we didn't see in the first half.
Well, this is the thing. Now they actually have money to play with, and it's not going to be SpaceSoldiers debating, look, do we just risk it, get Paz on the orb, is it going to pay off? They can quite happily afford to go for it, and that is such a big standpoint to talk about, because the way it affects the game is absolutely incredible. I mean, Device can afford to go for the orb whenever he wants it, and he's been looking fantastic with it, and it does seem like we are almost ready now to get underway with the action. 15-15, we're in overtime. SpaceSoldiers, they're on the CT side. Astralis are your Ts, and we're ready to get underway. And as we said, Paz, he has gone for the orb, and he looks for the first pick down mid.
But Astralis, they've not gone for an orb themselves, though. And Glaive's in between 2 Molotovs. That's a lot of damage from grenades. Look at that, he's only on 14 HP. And now he's dead. The grenades didn't start coming.
And Glaive has been the best player on the server for Astralis right now. He was sat there with 30 frags to his name. He has been saving them, salvaging rounds that should have gone the way of SpaceSoldiers. I mean, if Glaive wasn't playing this well, SpaceSoldiers could have won this in regulation, because there was about 3 or 4 rounds that Glaive bailed them out of, and Paz finds the second pick, takes down Dupree. This is already starting off so much better than the majority of CT rounds we saw in regulation from SpaceSoldiers, Ben.
Yeah, the last time they had a 2-man advantage, I believe it did result in that Glaive clutch that we did see earlier on. However, he's already gone. As you mentioned, he was the big man so far on the server for them. And Paz, the other big man on the server, the second kill of the round. This is looking really good. Oh, that tag through the smoke.
The tag's filthy, but it's not a kill, and he's not going to have the opportunity to convert it into one either, because it is just Zipnix and Device that remain. They have 40 seconds of time ticking away, second by second, but the bloodlust starts to come out. A heroism play there from Device, but he couldn't get the follow-up. Engin is able to win that one, and it all falls to Zipnix. This should be a 16th round secured, and the first round of overtime going straight to the back pocket of SpaceSoldiers.
Yeah, Zipnix stuck between a rock and a hard place there. He's already been found out. 15 seconds left.
And here comes Kallias.
He needs to fight everyone, unfortunately. I mean, I was going to say, yeah, Zipnix threw a grenade then. I thought that was it, but he threw a Molotov too. So Paz technically lost that orb. But I suppose when you win around a CT with a 16k actual config, you can buy out for the rest of the half.
Yeah.
No matter what. And Device, he's not picking up the orb again. This is very bizarre. You consider as well, SpaceSoldiers, they've done no actual aggressive setups on either side.
No.
They eat banana, they've always just given up. They've thrown grenades, they've fought this half banana attempt. Otherwise, they've just given everything up.
We've seen unorthodox setups, and we've seen things that have been a little bit wacky, but other than that, it's been pretty standard and quite calm. Paz brought down to 50 HP, but the repeat Engin goes for it and gets the double down. The only player that can actually stop him is Magisk, but already that is a major advantage for SpaceSoldiers.
And they're coming through the apartments. Well, I think Magisk got stuck in the door. Yeah, he was stuck in the door looking the wrong way. They've used a lot of grenades trying to get out there, and that's a big kill though. Still 3v3.
And Glaive, once again, giving them that little extra bit of oomph they need.
Look at the rotate from SpaceSoldiers. They thought this was a big commit. Astralis going to walk into an empty bomb site, but do they know it's empty? I don't think so, because they've got a player chasing them fast behind. As Antares, he could come up really big here.
Magisk holds the angle though, Ben. He was ready for it, but he's now fallen back. He's repositioning with the squad instead. Antares, he can be such a mean man in these scenarios. Gonna manhandle him as he's got the trigger discipline. 1, 2! Can't get the third. Magisk will turn on him, but Calix can do the damage instead. The AK bullet straight through the head of Magisk. Leaves him down on the ground. 17 to 15. They look like they might take all 3 rounds on the CT side.
And that's all they had in regulation. This is crazy. This shows the difference in having 16k to use that overtime gives. And I imagine this is an Astralis pause because they need to get some T rounds on the board. They got 12 in regulation. They've got 0 so far.
The T side was amazing for them. They had a very good understanding of how to counter and how to outplay SpaceSoldiers round in, round out. But the difference was everyone seemed a little bit sluggish when they moved over to that second half from SpaceSoldiers. We saw a small slowdown from Paz. We saw Xantares still not quite on the server. Now, everyone seems ready. I mean, you've had this many rounds to play versus the top team right now. You know you have to reinvigorate yourselves, Ben. And they seem like they've drunk that elixir of life. They are more than awake. They've had 2 times the regular amount of Weetabix you're supposed to have in the mornings.
They're wiling out.
They are.
An Engine, that round, I didn't know he was actually in the corridor there. I thought that flash was simply to get Paz out. But that face was phenomenal. And this round could be another big one for SpaceSoldiers. No pressure at Banana this time from Astralis. Just Majesk throws a Molotov towards the top, but he's completely smoked out. You know, there's no presence there. And this is the first time SpaceSoldiers have had a third player towards Banana as well. Major came over. But look at that conversion. You can see Astralis. They're moving more players towards it. It could be a big battle here at Banana.
Oh, Dupree. Pushing up close, trying to see if he can try and get that lurk frag off with support.
They're going to hear him jumping.
Xantares over towards Banana. As you said, goes for the jump face. He's been spotted as well. Somehow none of that spam connects, and he's got away with that grenade. So thankfully for SpaceSoldiers, they've got another player on that site. You know, it's not just Kaliex on his own. And they're actually coming in to try and tempt this. The Molotov comes out, and the play. He's been team killed!
Glaive kills Kaliex as things start to go from bad to worse, Ben. But luckily enough, Dupree will bail them out of the awkward situation. Device takes the firefight against Major and finds the frag, and it's all up to Paz. He has to go for it, but he'll get the headshot, takes down Device. It's into a 1-on-3.
Weirdly, this is winnable. He's heard the plate library.
My goodness, Ben!
It's a 1v2. Glaive is solo, but he's doubting himself. I think he needs to get an AK here, surely.
The
He's
power
doubting
play.
himself so much.
This is crazy. He's still unsure. He doesn't know where they're going to be committing towards.
He's going to realise now there's no noise towards that B site. It isn't a B play. He realises as he scopes in, has to scurry over there, but he doesn't have much time. Needs to be fast on his feet. Luckily, he has a kit. No utility. It's a 1-on-2. Glaive is low, but he is playing from pit. He's got support as Zipnix as well, and Paz only has the AWP. It'd bring him up to 38 frags if somehow he could find this, but Glaive, 1 bullet's all he requires. Rips him a new one, and that makes it 17-16.
Paz is playing unreal, isn't he? Like, you consider Device. I was wondering where the AWP was. I suppose part of the reason why he didn't bring it out is going to team kill people.
Yeah. Well, you know, at least it was still a kill.
I suppose, yeah.
But this is wild, Ben. 17-16 scoreline. SpaceSoldiers. If we cast our minds back as well, their T side was by far the better side.
But I think a part of that could be attributed to the fact that that CT economy is fragile, right? We didn't see Device have an AWP very often on the CT side.
No.
And at Banana, they didn't have that many grenades. You know, Zipnix, he was playing around with his money a bit weirdly, wasn't he? He had Mag 7 sometimes with no armor. It was very bizarre. Having 16k available, this could change everything for Astralis.
This is still crazy. Remember as well, because it has gone to overtime, one of these teams is guaranteed a point no matter what. So even if SpaceSoldiers do somehow lose this and let it slip, that's already 1 point off the current best team in the world. That is a big feat to take. But they're going to be looking to try and grab 2 and steal the majority from this, Ben. And I can't say I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I mean, I feel like at this point my money could be on SpaceSoldiers. If they play as good as a T side as we saw in the regulation, this could be them walking out of here with a big win.
For sure. I mean, the fact that they picked up 2 rounds in that overtime, after only getting 3 in regulation on the CT side, it was only positive from there, right? You just think, just remember, guys, we got 2 there. We just need 2 more on T side. We were phenomenal at first half. Try and get some more of that going. And hopefully Paz, hopefully that train does not stop.
No.
Because he's going hard right now.
34 frags for Glaive. But on the other side of things, 36 frags for Paz. And even just to say that, 34 frags for Glaive.
Yeah.
And the amount of clutch rounds he's won.
The question is how many of those were on T side as well? Because, you know, I can't imagine he was on more than 12 on the CT when they swapped. It's been crazy. And Zipnix, he was doing this in the first half. SpaceSoldiers never really contested that Banana. They allowed them to have it. And look at the movement on the minimap though. SpaceSoldiers, they know there's probably more players towards that side of the map. It's going to be a mid play from them. And Device, he does have that AWP. As I mentioned, during regulation last time, he wasn't really able to afford it. Full X is going to come through. The mini put. Actually, smoke in front of the library, the smoke in the archway. They're going to take top mid control. But there's 4 players from Astralis here. They're ready to fight.
Push is so pivotal. Trade of the smoke. Zantares goes down as Device gets the first kill. They're trying to keep them blind as the flashbangs go over Ben, but they've not committed just yet. They've still got a minute of time to play with. Device just jump spotting it here towards Banana as well.
This is all going to be about the timing. If he does more jump spotting, he'll be able to get pulled back without having to shoot. However, if he was to scope it, he might be able to get a kill. And that he does. He's going to be able to smoke it off as well. There's only 40 seconds left. That smoke is very high up though. They're going to commit through it.
Push through, he misses the shot, somehow he doesn't connect it. Peeks back up, but still struggling. Luckily, the nade transfers a small amount of damage onto them both, and Zipnik's playing in a fantastic angle. Gets the gut shot and the follow-up, takes down Kaliex. 17-17, it's all tied up. And now this could go one of 2 ways. If they split the remaining rounds, it will mean double overtime. If not, and Astralis or SpaceSoldiers win the next 2 in a row, get themselves to 19, they will take the first map here.
I think the bizarre thing is that SpaceSoldiers were so cautious. They did that execute towards Archside. They didn't even bait it. They didn't even try and run forward with it. Nothing. There was nobody selling it. And at the other side, Device was able to find that easy kill towards Antares. And look at this pick! Oh, that was so close!
The trade, Ben. Zantares, he got the counter pick back on Magisk. We're already in a 4-on-4, and there's been so much aggression, but it just gets more aggro. The tempo increasing as it goes on. Luckily, Glaive is there. He has been the Elmer glue of this team so far, just keeping these rounds together somehow. Device with a CZ in close range. Overthrown. Dethroned, in fact, by Kaliex, as he will be punished. And it is up to Glaive to save it. Surely not another clutch round from this animal.
It's a big ask for him. He's got a kit and a smoke. This is very winnable. But as soon as that smoke comes in though, I have to say, his chances of winning decrease a lot. He's going to have to commit through it. There's no point trying to save. He gets the first kill. He's not even tagged much by that either. And Kaliex has got an AWP. This is a really rough situation to be in.
Gets the first. Needs more, but he can't. Kaliex holds the angle with the AWP. That's an 18th round picked up for SpaceSoldiers. Now we get into that position where it is either a win or a double overtime. Astralis, are they going to pick this round up? Or SpaceSoldiers, with the confidence we're seeing come through? They're looking damn resplendent, Ben. This could very well be them picking up the map here, 19-17, if they play their cards right.
Consider the huge play there was probably Zantares, right? He got the double kill towards Banana. Although he died to Glaive, he'd already done his job there. And there's 3 players towards Banana again from Astralis. And they're actually putting the Molotov out at mid. It's quite peculiar. They seem very focused trying to get mid control. They know a lot of Banana was taken. And Paz is already at the top. Dupree's having to smoke Archside, and look at the rotate for Astralis. They're leaving Device at Banana again. So that was the round they won last time they did it. But this time SpaceSoldiers, they've already got brackets without needing to do an execute of any kind. The unfortunate thing for SpaceSoldiers right now though is they need to force Device back in some way. Whether it's through just flashing him off the corner or anything like that. But just, he's already ruined the plans.
Yeah. Things have been going very wrong. The nades have done so much damage. The face from Magisk was strong. I mean, Zantares is 22 HP. And Magisk holds this angle as well. If the peek comes out, but the timing could be bad here, actually. He could give Engine the opportunity to peek, but no. He still knows when to reface and finds the headshot. Major Kaliex and Zantares are the only 3 remaining members now on the side of SpaceSoldiers. They're up against 5 CTs of Astralis.
And Zantares is the one with the AWP, weirdly. So Major used it last round, Kaliex used it last round. But Zantares, because he's so low, he's now donning the AWP. What kind of peek are we going to see from him? I think they're trying to boost at the wall. This could be rough.
Oh!
There's only 20 seconds left. I can't see them doing this right now. There's only an AK and an AWP. And Glaive is already here. He's got another smoke.
Yeah, it's got to be double overtime. It's just Kaliex that remains. He will get 1 frag, but he's got 14 seconds to have an absolute miracle. It's not going to happen. He will push through, but he's already tagged, and it'll just be a matter of seconds before he's hit by that police brutality. The assault and battery from Astralis should leave him dead.
Telling him he has no time.
And it's over. Just didn't try and go for the plant. Look clueless, but that will force it through, Ben. Double overtime is coming up. 18-18. Considering from how this game started, with SpaceSoldiers after the first half looking like they were going to sail through and lock it down, Astralis have fought tooth and nail, and now both teams literally just trying to see who has that mental fortitude, the survivability to stay alive as this one keeps going.
It's just the fact that that 12-3 half, I said at the half, I was like, that is the comeback scoreline though. That's when you think this is still possible.
Yeah.
And it does return into this, double overtime now. And this is where you start to see the players who were playing really well during the game though. This is where they start to slow down a bit. Especially when it's players who are not normally at the top, right? So Glaive, you wouldn't normally say he's at the top of the scoreboard. He slowed down a bit. Paz is the same. They're slowing down a bit now. We're getting more influence from the other players in the server, right? Magisk, Device. They're all starting to chime in a bit more now. SpaceSoldiers, they need to get 2 rounds in this half, I feel, to win this one. I think Astralis will be very, very composed going to the second overtime.
Early aggression from either team, a transfer of grenades towards Banana. Xantares.
That nade.
He can be incredible towards Banana, but he isn't given an opportunity. And so much damage has been done.
Look how aggressive he
losing
is.
HP.
He's the only player at Banana on the T side, and he was just taking aggressive fights like that. He's done a lot of damage to the CTs. But damage doesn't mean anything right now. They need kills.
They're trying to go for this push around. Calyx looks to try and find that first pick towards the A site. If he can get an entry, maybe they can mold this one into a big play. The rest of his teammates grouped up outside of Arch side. They have 55 seconds and counting on the clock. Device goes for the peak, but misses the initial shot.
The Malta will stop them from pushing up the Arch side, though. But Calyx gets that kill, and he knows where the other player is. Magic's going to get swarmed here.
Oh, Magic for the timing as well. It's awkward, sidelined by Engin, as he will take him down. It's back to a 3-on-3. It's a level playing field, and the rotate is going to take so long. Luckily, Device had the cross, but not for long. They smoke it. They block off the angle and completely negate him. That AWP is not going to be as effective. Goes for a pot shot, but doesn't connect. The follow-up as well. However, the 3 Musketeers of the CT side are here. And will the stars align for Astralis? Only time will tell.
Major, he's looking towards this side now. He saw the gun barrel. Doesn't get the kill though. Glaive is so low. This is very winnable still for SpaceSoldiers.
6 HP in a dream. Engin, though, playing from pit, needs to get the shots off. If he can find that initial frag, it would put him into a good position, but he can't get the follow-up. Zipniks with a hat trick. The defuse comes through, and Astralis get themselves the 19th. The first round of overtime goes their way.
And with that first round in overtime secured, it does mean they can essentially buy out for the last 2 here too. SpaceSoldiers, they'll be thinking we should have done better with that post plant. It was a 3v3. In most situations, you do favour the terrorist side when they are in a post plant like that. So Device got that AWP again. And they once more, Astralis are going 3 banana. They've done that pretty much the last 5 rounds they've had on CT side. And if I'm honest, it's working for them. I mean, Xantares has been taking these fights. He's not been winning them, but he's been doing some damage, but that's nothing, as I mentioned. Zipniks takes the fight, loses. That's not a good start for Astralis, and it's even worse when Paz does that.
Paz? We said he slowed down. Not again, Ben. He's popped off again. He's actually got back into it majorly. That's a huge play. And he looks to try and even get some more for his time as he will start to advance round, but Glaive's bypassed him. He slipped out.
Oh, he actually got all the way out. The question is, what? Device?
Just bunny hopping.
Glaive might be in with a chance of getting a ninja defuse here, depending on how long. Like, SpaceSoldiers have no reason to leave this bomb. Consider Glaive has every reason to try and win the round. There's no reason why he should save. He's got a smoke and a kit. And it's an awkward plant as well. It's not your average plant. So Major will have one last little check here. But he's peeked all the way into Glaive. They know he's there. He smokes forward. He's going to need it as well. And the Molotov comes through. He's going to have to stick the fuse.
Can't even get on there. Team kill for Major. Taps the face. Just trying to make it a costly one at this point. Does get the double kill, but there is no time for a defuse. And Engin will get the final kill anyway. 19-19. As it is still close as ever.
40 kills for Paz. 39 for Glaive.
It's been a race between those two.
Paz had quite a head start, if you remember.
Yeah.
At the halftime switch, Paz was what, on 21? Glaive had about 12, maybe 11. And again, 3 players towards Banana from Astralis. Xantares this time did not have the spawn, so he's been completely stopped. He's not actually at the normal wall that he gets to, usually. And Device, he gets that kill, 91 damage.
That's mental, Ben. Somehow he stays alive in that situation, but is forced to fall back, but they lose Dupree. And this actually causes a huge rotate as well. Look at the read from Astralis there, believing that it could be a play towards A, when in reality, SpaceSoldiers haven't committed to a single thing, but they're still getting more and more.
But Device has been a machine on that B site when he's been left alone. He's been able to do everything that was required of him. And that bomb is still on these stairs though as well. So Paz, he finds out there's at least 1 player towards that side. You can only assume there's another one towards Arch. And Device, as I mentioned, he's only on 9 HP. This could be very rough for Astralis. If they do not get any info towards mid, this could be really rough. Glaive goes to the info, and he wins that fight too. That's a huge bit of info. And they are going to risk that rotate. SpaceSoldiers. Kaliex, he needs to actually get the bomb. He needs to join his team.
Yeah, he has to be quick as well. Time's ticking down, 35 seconds left on the clock. The contact though, Xantares had the blocked angle, was able to find the kill. Device gets the adjustment. The fast flick back around as he overpowers Major, but they're left in a 2-on-2. The Molotov
just go A at this point.
forces him back.
He may as well go A.
Xantares gets the kill, the headshot, but there's the trade. Zipnix as well, he's going to think this is a B play. At this point, there's going to be no reason why he'd debate if it's going to be A. But Calix is there, he can plant. This is going to waste so much time for Zipnix before he even realizes he has to push right up. He'll now only just start to deter that there is no bomb on the site, has to rotate the entire way around. It's a 1-on-1. He has the health advantage, but Calix, he's got a smoke to play with, and he's got a good position as well. A very effective angle. Sits in library, and he peeks out, goes for the frag. 20-19, Ben.
And SpaceSoldiers, I said they needed to get 2 T rounds. And they did. This CT side now, the pressure is on them, which is really awkward situation to be in. The question is, will they actually go again with that Paz Orb? Because it was a big factor for them when they won CT rounds. I'd just like to see them do something different at Banana, because they've just sent 2 there every time.
Yeah.
Whereas Astralis, they sent 3 every round. Like, both teams just sticking to what they know, apparently.
It really has just been a battle of who can sustain the longest. Which team is able to just stay alive at this point and keep themselves in the game?
Like, both teams not really like, altering the way they play like, at all. It's quite peculiar.
The thing is, normally when you get to like a second overtime, that's where things start to go a bit out the window and it starts to get quite unorthodox.
I suppose this game has been the true definition of a slobber knocker.
It really has been. It's wild the fact it's even got to this point. And SpaceSoldiers still just trying to scrape through. They want those 2 points.
To steal 2 points off the reigning champions Astralis would be a big, big feat.
And there is only currently 1 kill between Paz and Glaive. And the fact that Glaive has a 40 bomb is still ridiculous.
It really adds on to that thing I mentioned earlier. How Zonic, he'll call in some pracs just to let Glaive build on his individual play. And with good reason, quite clearly here. So we saw a lot of grenades destroy Device whenever he went to the top of Banana. Kaliex has got his nade ready. As soon as the info gets made, or any noise gets made, those nades will be thrown.
There goes the nade.
One. Only does 4 damage on Device. He was thinking about walking in fully there. But he's got a smoke out. He's done really well there. On the other side of the map, though, Dupree, he's continuing his little lurk towards Apps, isn't he? He was quite successful in the first half. Well, first part of regulation, I suppose.
Oh.
But Xantares, that's not a place you want to be caught out in.
And you can see Astralis debating whether or not they just go for a fast-paced round here off the back of this, realizing there should be reduced numbers on the site.
So
and Device! How is he getting away with this? Both of the frags he found have been crazy. And they're not even with him. The rest of the team are going towards A. Luckily, there hasn't been a mass rotate. If Paz can find this kill with the orb, maybe they can save the day. But no, Device dominating. He is the apex predator, Ben.
Yeah, it seems like he's had enough of this overtime. 3 kills onto that B site. 2 of them through smoke. And SpaceSoldiers, there's no reason to save. They need to try and go for this, but instead, I mean, Major doesn't look like he's trying to. He's still in pit. It's very bizarre.
I think that's the save call made. 2020. It's going to be tied up.
To save in the first round of overtime. I think this is the first time we've not seen the CT set actually win the first round of overtime.
Yeah.
They've done on there, though. So that could be a big part of it.
And that's a device round, right
Definitely,
there.
yeah.
Standard stuff from device. I mean, through the smoke, 2 huge frags, the confidence to just go in for it as well, gets the follow-up. You one-on-one against the man that has been an absolute hero in Paz, and it's crazy. So it does get tied up. 20-20 now, and again, we get back into that position where it's very possible this could be going to another overtime. If it carries on like this, these teams have been so evenly matched. 2 rounds left to go. If they split the rounds, it's overtime free. Astralis or SpaceSoldiers need to lock it down right now and chain 2 together.
Paz picks up that AWP again. If they lose this run, he'll need a drop from Major. Whether it's an M4 or an AWP. But finally, SpaceSoldiers, they change things up. They're sending 3 towards Banana. But it looks like Major might just be lining up a flashbang for them. Paz, he was being quite aggressive here. You know, we haven't seen him peek down mid with his AWP before. And Astralis, they've made the correct call. SpaceSoldiers had 3 players towards Banana. Little did they know. But Astralis think, we don't need to go Banana. Device got 3 kills there. They'll think that's weak. And the Spurs is going to come through. Engine needs to get big kills here.
Oh, Engin only finds 1 before he's traded back there by Zipnix, and it is down to a 4 versus 4. Paz is over by the site, but he has no angle of opportunity to strike against them. The line of sight is completely removed as the smoke wall goes up. They have a minute on the clock, so they can take their time before they even go for this plant. It's a 4-man retake. They have all the utility in the world, and the nades are doing damage as well.
This retake's still possible. There's a lot of grenades on Zantares, and there's 2 players stuck on site. If they are able to get onto this site and smoke defuse, this could change everything. But Device, he's walking in Boiler behind them. Whoa. He gets caught out.
Paz held the angle, got the kill with the AWP, and it's down to a 2-on-3, but Magisk does the unthinkable. The hat trick comes out. Paz gets it with a USP, but he can't find the bomb. He does have the kit. He's going to jump on it, and it looks like he might just have enough time by a sliver. 21-20.
He's hiding under the player's foot. That bomb is actually hidden. The fact he was even looking at Boiler is such a big part of it.
And bear in mind, if we think about what the odds were for this game at the very beginning.
It was 1.13 Astralis. And it was like 4.8 or something for SpaceSoldiers. It was worth that little underdog look at. But I wouldn't have said, you know, it's a very good idea.
Well, Astralis, they take their time for a pause now. And they need to try and smooth things over, because a round like that is going to be a kick in the teeth as well. The fact that Magis gets himself a hat trick of frags and looks like that would have been it. The saving grace. Save a wreck like me, but no, Ben. Gets pushed through. Round 6 now, the second overtime. If Astralis win this, we're going to overtime free.
Thankfully, SpaceSoldiers, though, I mentioned Paz was the player who had weaker money. He's the player who lives and saves them. And he takes this peek down mid once more. Device, not trusted again to actually go with an AWP on this T side. He's been perfectly fine with the rifle. But again, SpaceSoldiers gone that 3rd place towards Banana, and Astralis, they're not actually doing the same thing that they usually do here. Here comes the contest, though. Device halfway contesting it. He's taking team damage.
Ooh, and Zantares gets the kill. Losing Device could actually be the setting stone that they actually lose this entire game as well, because Astralis, they've relied on him as a crutch to actually get the entries in towards B. He's been saving them in so many rounds.
I'm really liking the rotate they made there. So normally, Kalix and Zantares are the 2P players, but because neither of them have Molotovs or smokes, Zantares says, I'll rotate towards A. Major stays there. He's got both Molotov and a smoke. So the later on this round goes, it's still okay on that B side, especially with Kalix boosted. Question is though, for Astralis, where do you go at this point? You know, they've not really, they got towards top Banana, they didn't take it fully. But it looks like they're going towards A, and that's a big entry towards Arch side.
Dupree with the opening headshot takes down Zantares. They're back into a 4-on-4. Engin trying to play anti-flash towards Pit. He's got support of Paz as the flashbangs do come over from Dupree. He peeks out. The angle should be covered by Paz, but all of them group up. They want to go for a quad burst. This could be a conundrum. Can SpaceSoldiers hold their own as the push comes around? Engin, the superstar at the moment as he gets the double down, Ben. It's a 2-on-3. SpaceSoldiers this round could be the game for them, but Magisk steps up. Paz with a trade back, 1-on-1. Major versus Zipnix. He's on the site. He can plant. Major tiptoes his way back up. The Psalm Assassin needs to be the superstar into the round.
Zipnix hasn't reloaded his AK. He's still using a CZ here. He's finally taking it again. He's reloading. That's the time coup from Major. The Molotov comes out.
Oh!
And Zipnix wins. He repositioned him so well there. And that's triple overtime. Phenomenal movement from Zipnix. That Molotov would have forced him out instantly.
We said it was a slobber knocker at 14-14, and it just keeps on giving. The game that never wants to end. It's the never-ending story, Ben.
The fact that Zipnix did take that hit, though, he was walking over to the CZ for so long, thinking, I might need to get, he might be close, I need to keep this out. He risks the reload, and with good reason. He used more than 10 bullets on that spray. 21-21. Crazy stuff.
It's absolutely wild. It looks like one team needs to win all 3 rounds.
It does feel like it's going 2-1 each time.
Yeah. If they split rounds, it just keeps on going. Thing is, I remember ages ago, there was actually, it was on HLTV, they looked into it, and they actually said that MR5 games closed out a lot quicker and a lot more reliable. They said MR3, it's games where they go on for a lot longer because of the split rounds.
I suppose the big argument for that was, so MR5 on a CT side, even if you have 16k, if you lose 3 rounds, your money's gone.
Yeah.
That just accepts. But with this MR3 16k, the CTs can endlessly
you can pretty much buy the
basically.
entire time. The only way you mess it up is if you double AWP and lose there twice.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had 2 different versions of overtime there. So one version had the CT teams winning 2 rounds each.
Yes.
Now this last one we just saw had the Ts winning 2 rounds each. As you said, it might be time for one of them to win 3. That seems to be the only way that this breaks.
Good fact is, as well, Astralis is still on that T side, and Device has had some of the best entries we've seen in quite some time for that T side. He's been able to absolutely annihilate on the early entries.
This is different.
Has quieted down a lot, and we are back in.
Major's got the AWP this time. So Paz, even though he's been really good with it, Major takes it, and he goes for such an aggressive play, and Kaliax at Banana gets the kill on Device. We talked about his entry kills. Gone off the map already.
That's crazy. That is a huge opener. Device has been naughty, Ben. Every round, he's been able to get constant entries. They could not stop him once. This time they punish him. 4 Ts that remain for Astralis. 5 men alive for SpaceSoldiers, and they play it slow. That clock is their best friend right now.
Yeah, they can wait for this to wind down quite a bit. Xantares, though, he uses his smoke. There wasn't really any pressure at Banana just then. So that means there's no smoke left on this B site. It'll get to about 50 seconds of the clock. There will be no smoke there. There'll only be a Molotov. And Glaive, he's thinking of trying to get this lurk kill. And it looks like B will be the hit. He knows there is no more smokes here. But does he know that there's another Molotov? This boost could be quite big. Thing is, Astralis do have Molotovs for it. If they were to molly new bucks, Kaliax would be in a spot of bother. Here comes the execute.
Smoke some flashes galore as they push in. Kaliax, it's such a good angle, but he struggles so much. And it's Xantares to get a double kill. He actually gets the dink on Dupree before he departs us, though. And that is a huge set piece. Leaving Dupree on 10 HP makes the lives of Astralis tremendously hard to take this round. Dupree and Zipnix need to play together flawlessly now. They get into good positions. They complement each other. They have the plant down, and time starts to tick away. But it is a 3-on-2. A single HE could blow Dupree out the server in seconds. Major has that HE, but he's not given a chance to use it. He at least will dink down Zipnix, but they're finding these kills. Critical mass comes through, and Dupree saves the day.
Despite being on 10 HP, he gets both kills just due to the fact he was positioning so well behind that pillar. And this is such a crazy game. I mean, Kaliax,
45 kills for Paz.
if Kaliax lands that first spray on the first player, how different is that B-hold? Because Xantares got 2 kills and a dink.
If he would have found the first kills, Xantares could have got the other 2 frags. That would have been the easy 3 kills in the take. Xantares might have stayed alive. It could have been so different. 21-22.
There's a very short-lived life with the AWP for Major. He didn't really get a chance to use it other than that second mid-peak, and now it's back with Paz already. And Astralis, they've done nothing to Banana. They're going through every smoke on the map. And it's making them work.
Just
sprinting in. They weren't ready for this unprecedented aggression. We said it might be the time for one team to win 3 rounds. It looks like this could be Astralis being able to pick up all 3 if they carry on with this style of play. Finessing on SpaceSoldiers now. Calyx will actually get a double down though. Eliminates Magisk and Dupree before he starts to retreat.
It's all well and good getting these kills, but at the end of the day, this round is lost. And the money is not great. You can see Paz there, 39.50, Major, 33.50. Both players who had bought AWPs in these first 2 overtime rounds. Calyx drops there. Xyp9x didn't even take a shot. He was just like, he's at the bottom of second mid. Glaive deals with him with an AWP, funnily enough. I can only imagine it's going to be given towards Device, I guess, although a lot of these players on Astralis can wield that if needed. And you can see the drops coming across on that CT side. M4's being distributed. Engine, no kit, even though he does have the money to buy it. And the 3 players towards Banana, and Paz has an AWP again. They're risking that investment. They think they need it. Ooh, the double nade on Calyx. He was at sandbags again. He's taking so much damage whenever he sat there. This boost is very, very cheeky there. Oh. Xantares heard that drop. And the player at logs, he's forced to use his own smoke. Just about gets it!
My goodness.
One more tick, he was dead. Fortunately for SpaceSoldiers though, you don't know that. You don't know how low those players are. And the Brackus control is taken by Astralis. And even better, Magisk gets that kill on Xantares. They know there's another player there.
Oh. Glaive gets the counter pick on Calyx. Xyp9x takes down Paz, and it is a 2-on-4 now. And they are bombarding that peak site. Major wants to try and cause some mischief. Pulls out the smoke, but he gets tagged. He's left on 46, but he dives straight through. Couldn't even get it. Glaive with a flick around. And Engin is the only one left. The spray down doesn't work. It's 24-21. Astralis, they got all 3 rounds. They need 1 round to shut down this game. That is it.
The 3-0 that we talked about comes through. The question is, can SpaceSoldiers save the game? Because right now they're looking at defeat.
You wonder how much fight they have left in them, Ben. In a position where they have to get 3 rounds on the trot on their T-side. I mean, sure, they look good T-side. Opening regulation half, in overtime, they've looked damn good. They've been able to hit their shots, they've been effective, but it's such a hard task. No room for failure. You cannot mess up. If you do, you suffer a loss. And that would be Astralis walking out of here with 2 points, leaving SpaceSoldiers with just 1 for forcing them into overtime. A 3rd overtime, I might add.
And that's the double up investment for Astralis as well. They know they have room to work with. Dupree and Device picking up on all beach. Device with the smoke to get rid of that Molotov, but he hasn't actually covered it. Alternatively, with the other AWP, he's facing them in, and Device takes the beat. He missed the shot. Major, who's at the logs, he's been double naded and he's nearly dead. Not starting out well, but Paz was a major influence on that first half. He saw it. Dupree not knowing he could be shot from there. Very poor from them. That's an entry they needed. It looks like they're potentially thinking about trusting Device to be alone on this side, but the pressure is there. And Xyp9x has to come back.
Magisk gets the kill on Calyx, trades it back at least. It's a 4-on-4. Pretty much mirrored in terms of HP as well, as Major and Device are both low. However, Device on the AWP, Bogdan's Law will come into play. And he might actually have a lot of trouble coming his way soon. But instead, Paz, he gets the wallbang, takes down Magisk. They can rotate round. They know the A site is weak. It's only Glaive there. But Glaive, he's been a big man. He's been absolutely huge in a lot of these rounds. Is he going to go large and in charge this time, though? As he waddles in, looks to try and find the frags, gets the uppercut, the headshot on Engin, 45 kills to his name, and still gunning for more, Ben. But the backstab from Xantares should overthrow him. He's going to run around. He still gets the kill. Glaive only just goes down to Major, and it is a 1-on-2. Major, if he doesn't win it, Astralis will take it 25-21. Oh, they get the first contact. Major misses it. Xyp9x will secure victory. Astralis to the stars there as they pick up the victory in the end, 25-21. A crazy game, a absolute slobber knocker down to the definition of the word.
Phenomenal game, really. I mean, Glaive and Paz, they're just showing why they are where they are right now. And Astralis, the resilience, right?
Yeah.
It was 12-3 down, and they brought it all the way into overtime. And when they needed to perform, they had that 3-0 overtime to take the full sweep. 25-21. Phenomenal.
Wild stuff. I mean, that's what we were looking at, right? We said the fact that if they were going to win it, they needed to get 3 rounds on the trot, and they definitely did in a absolutely commanding fashion. It was incredible. A great game from the get-go. So many highlight clips from so many different players, Ben, and I think we need to give some props there to Glaive.
Definitely. I mean, just think about it. It was that 1v4 on the pit. We would have sat there thinking, surely he doesn't actually take this. And that, honestly, he doesn't get that round, they lose the game in regulation.
It's crazy. Countless clutches from Glaive, and the same could be said for Paz. Continuously popping off. They just went huge into that game, Ben. What are your final thoughts on that one before we have a break before our second map in the series?
Gotta hope that the SpaceSoldiers are able to reset, because they've got another map coming up.
Another map to come, and it is going to be a feisty one. That series was incredible. We're going to take some time now to reset ourselves. I suggest you all go and grab yourselves a drink to rehydrate after that exhilarating affair, and we will see you after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.